administration in the history of our country.
Touting what he's done so far in his second term.
I ended all of the lawless so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion.
And he talked of his actions to change transgender policy and cut wasteful spending.
On day one, I created that right now, very successful Department of Government Efficiency headed by Elon. That was a big thing doing that.
Now, Democrats say it's been 100 days of chaos, making speeches late into the night at the Capitol. Here's Senator Richard Blumenthal.
The turmoil and turbulence has produced confusion and, yes, anxiety, deep fear and apprehension about the future of this country.
Now, the president also said his tariffs will bring more auto manufacturing back to Michigan as he gives automakers a bit of relief.
Automakers that import vehicles will still pay a 25% tariff, but an order from President Trump will spare those companies other tariffs on things like steel and aluminum for the next 2 years.
That's Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. Also last night at that Trump rally, the president said his crackdown on illegal immigration with deportations has border crossings way down. And now we have an update on a judge who resisted last week and was arrested in her courthouse.
The Wisconsin Supreme Court has suspended Milwaukee County Circuit Court Judge Hannah Dugan just days after she was arrested for shielding a man from being arrested by Immigration and Customs Enforcement. In a 2-page order, the Wisconsin High Court said she faces a pair of federal charges and that it is in the public interest that she be suspended temporarily.
That's Fox's Gernal Scott. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It took overtime, but the Pacers got it done. There's nothing on radar in the capital city. 51 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Your high today, 74. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 6:02. The Indiana Pacers are moving on to the Eastern Conference semifinals. Here's John Herrick.
What you're hearing there is Pacer fans celebrating after Indiana beat the Milwaukee Bucks in Game 5 in overtime Tuesday night, 119-118 to win this first-round playoff series. The game-winning shot was made by Tyrese Halliburton as called by Mark Boyle on the Pacers radio network.
Here comes Halliburton. Hits the timeline with 7. Outside the arc with 5. Driving in the lane at the goal. He lays it in.
The Pacers face the Cleveland Cavaliers next. Reporting from Cambridge Fieldhouse, John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Not long after that shot, Tyrese Halliburton's father got into a shoving match with Milwaukee Bucks star Giannis Antetokounmpo.
This series was a lot of war of words, a lot of war of antics, a lot of stuff going back and forth. I mean, that's just part of, this rivalry and what we've built here over the last couple of years.
And his dad says he will not make that mistake again. At least one person is in bad shape because of a crash that happened along I-469 in Fort Wayne early this morning. The Allen County Sheriff's Department says 2 cars collided. One of the cars went down an embankment and caught fire. The person driving that car was thrown from it. Medics took that person to the hospital in critical condition. The other driver only had minor injuries. The state's top elected attorney says he will not willingly take public discipline for comments made 2 years ago on TV. Here's Chris Davis.
Indiana Attorney General Todd Rokita says he's ready to keep fighting the Indiana Judicial Disciplinary Commission after their refusal to dismiss an ethics complaint against him for comments he made on Fox News in 2023.
They filed a charge against me that they agreed to dismiss. No prosecutor even does that. They did it to posture themselves.
He tells WIBC's Hammer and Nigel he resents the way the commission operates, saying they meet in secret, and he criticized them for being an unelected commission. Chris Davis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. Traffic and weather together in 1 minute. It is 6:04.
Promises made, promises kept. Governor Mike Braun's bold leadership is already getting things done for Hoosiers. Governor Braun and State House Republicans are delivering massive property tax cuts. We're talking nearly $1.5 billion in relief. That's real money back in homeowners' pockets. But Braun didn't stop there. He cut local income tax capacity by nearly $2 billion and capped the local income tax rate to protect Hoosiers. And Braun led the fight to reform local government taxes, giving Hoosiers more say by requiring referendums be held in high turnout elections. Thanks to Governor Braun and State House Republicans, your property taxes will be lower. Future increases are reined in, and the system is now more transparent. Visit HoosierHope.org and let Governor Braun and Republican legislators know you support historic property tax cuts. Paid for by HoosierHope.org.
Interstate's looking pretty fantastic here so far as we check everything going out to the airport, and westbound 70 is happy. At the moment, going from downtown, the on-ramps like Meridian, Illinois, West Street look fantastic, and then westbound 70 go down to the airport collector with Ronald Reagan Parkway and Ameriplex. Everything's moving up to speed. I don't see any problems here. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Wish TV meteorologist Tara Hastings has our weather update, including, I think, encouraging us to mow our lawn. I think I heard that on TV just a few minutes ago. Tara, even if it's nice out, I don't want to mow the lawn yet, but tell me how the weather looks.
Well, that's all right. Well, you know what? Gosh, we've had so much rain lately that I think a lot of the grass has grown really fast. So today...
You're right.
Yeah, right? But I do think it's going to be nice this weekend. But we have a couple of wet days still coming up. Today, a few areas of fog possible this morning, but right now everything looks okay. Partly cloudy skies for the afternoon. A scattered shower or thunderstorm possible. Highs today right around 73. Tonight, a few isolated showers will fall down to 62. And then on Thursday, mainly cloudy, some more scattered showers and thunderstorms. Some of those later in the afternoon and into the early evening hours could be on the stronger side. We'll get into the mid-70s. But finally, I think we're going to see some dry conditions, a little bit cooler, though, for the weekend, but dry and sunny both Saturday and Sunday.
Fair enough. Thank you so much, Tara. Right now, it is 6:07 Wednesday morning.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Sundown Gardens, Hamilton County Spring Nursery headquarters.
I guess I'll mow the lawn. Tara told me to. Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. Thrilled to be with you. A bunch of stuff out there to talk about. One of my favorite discussions right now, and it's easy to have this be a favorite discussion, is President Trump's first 100 days in office. Because if you look at all the things he attempted to do, all the things he did do with the amount of power that he has within the role of our president, it seems as though he's tried to keep every campaign promise and do as much as possible, as quickly as possible, in a whole lot of areas. Now, granted, one of the biggest shots at President Trump within the first 100 days is, has he done enough? Or has some of this, especially DOGE, been more theater than real, benefit to our society? Meaning, have those cuts actually had the impact that they were offering or claiming that they were going to have for us? And part of the reason that the answer might not be yes as definitively as we want it to be, there's definitely a yes in there, by the way, but that it might not be as impactful is because of Congress. And so the big conversation now becomes, what does Congress need to do, which is a lot that it hasn't done, and how terrible would it be, I hate to say it that way, but it's very simplistic to say it that way, if we lose the power that exists in Congress right now by having multiple branches of the government, which, by the way, if the economy doesn't become something very different over the course of, I would say, the next year, I think there is real risk that a lot of conservatives, a lot of Republicans in positions of power within our government will lose those spots because nothing motivates people to vote more than a misconception that things aren't going or are going your way because of any one specific politician. Not saying they can't impact stuff. It's crazy when people say that. And not saying that Trump hasn't actually impacted the economy. We saw inflation go down for the first time in quite a long time. We've seen some other things happen that are good, but we need more. That's essentially what I'm saying. And so many things that have happened, again, essentially demonstrate that Trump is all about doing all the things that he promised to do. He's not someone who said those things on the campaign trail and didn't want to enact every single one of those things, baby. He needs help eventually because the president can't do everything. And there are things that are going to be fought about and, discussed in courtrooms, much like it's already been happening. One of my other favorite things, by the way, just quickly, is the media's obsession with Kilmar Abrego Garcia. I don't actually want to talk about the guy today, but one of the reasons for that, I believe, is the effectiveness of the first 100 days in office. Trump has done a lot of things that could easily be talked about as things that, benefit us. Doge is just one tipping the iceberg version of stuff happening. A lot of the pulling away of any sort of restrictions put on the oil and gas industry is going to help us and is already having an impact on the cost of energy. There are tremendous other avenues to have that type of conversation. And yet one of the people he appointed cabinet positions actually is another thing that I would say is tremendously better than media will tell us it is. And so they need to obsess about whatever they think is going to be a win for them. And it's this. And by the way, I do have some audio I'll play a little bit later of a joke that a comedian thought they were making at the White House Correspondents' Dinner that actually is profoundly sad and absolutely accurate and not necessarily the joke or the moment that he thought. But I will play that later on in the show. We're going to save that and some other things as we get going here today. But just again, to reiterate, within the first 100 days in office, the president of the United States has done a lot to fulfill most campaign promises to the degree that he can. Now the fight absolutely becomes focusing on what Congress will do, what Congress hasn't done, which there's a lot of that so far, and what they need to do moving forward and how they need to stay in power, maybe even have a more significant majority happen in order to get those few holdouts who screw some of this policy stuff up to do more. Or sometimes it's just a few holdouts that we need to keep them from doing some things we don't like so much. Those are also true. So we'll get into a lot of it throughout the day today. But this is Craig Collins filling in. Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC.
This is Alex Brown. Southwest Indiana leaders say the region is making steady progress. More at 6:32 on Inside Indiana Business. Brought to you by IBJ's 20 in their 20s. Know a young person making a big impact? Nominate them by May 23rd. Learn more at ibj.com/nominations.
Employee pricing is happening right now at Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield. Tony Katz here, and Andy Moore Ford is where you go for your next car, your next truck, your next fleet vehicle. They've got everything that you need, and yes, employee pricing for everybody, including you. Yeah, you're not left out of this deal. The deal's for you as well. On the F-150s, on the Super Duties, on the Explorers, on the Expeditions, which I'm driving right now, all of them with employee pricing. And if you're looking to sell or trade your current vehicle, you only have to go to Andy Moore Ford. The time has never been better. Andy Moore Ford will pay top dollar for your used vehicle, even if you don't buy from them. Talk to Andy Moore Ford today. Stop in 2713 East Main Street in Plainfield. Tell them Tony Katz sent you, or go online. You can even buy your vehicle online. So easy to do. That's AndyMooreFord.com. Andy Moore, M-O-H-R, AndyMooreFord.com.
Hey, it's Rob for Universal Windows Direct. If spring cleaning has you thinking about spring upgrading, this is the month to do it. Freshen up your home's look, boost your energy efficiency, and save big during Universal Windows Direct's Spring Home Improvement event. Right now, it's their classic fan favorite offer, buy 2 windows, get 2 free, no limit. And for a limited time, Universal Windows Direct is also offering no interest until 2030. That's right, upgrade your home today and don't pay a cent in interest for 6 whole years. And here's the real spring surprise. Get a bonus $500 off your home improvement project. There's never been a better time to bundle and save with Universal Windows Direct. Some restrictions may apply, so call today, 317-659-7574. 317-659-7574. Get all the information and schedule your totally free in-home estimate. And see everything for yourself on the web, universalwindowsdirect.com, universalwindowsdirect.com. Tell them Rob sent you.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Matt, how do our roads look?
Not bad, Craig. 75th Street still closed from Graham over to Binford. That's because of Nickel Plate Trail construction. We're hoping it'll reopen on May the 7th, so sometime next week. Looking at inbound 69, looks fantastic right now. No delays as we make our way down from Fishers from 116th Street to 465. Continuing on Binford Boulevard, that's 13 minutes to Meridian Street, Penn, in downtown Indianapolis. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th at River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. A 20% chance of showers after 2 o'clock today, which is something Tara was talking about earlier. I guess you can mow your lawn in between the showers. Also, showers likely tonight. 51 right now. The high today is 72 in downtown Indianapolis. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Heating and Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
Beck Toyota has been sold to the Hubler Automotive Group. But before the Hubler name comes, everything goes. And when Hubler says everything goes, we mean it. Every pre-owned Corolla, Camry, RAV4, Highlander, Tacoma, Tundra, every car, every truck, everything in the showroom, everything on the lot. Need credit? Managers will be on site, accepting applications for immediate review. Plus, Hubler's got you covered. Every Q-certified vehicle includes our 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Before the grand opening of Hubler Toyota, everything goes. It's your chance to save like never before. Don't miss it. When Hubler says everything goes, we mean it. On US 31 South in Indianapolis, across from Hubler Chevrolet. Visit HublerToyota.com. Before the Hubler name comes, everything goes. Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Before the newest candy and snacks hit store shelves, they start at the Sweets and Snacks Expo. And this year, it's coming to Indy May 13th to 15th. 1,000 candy and snack companies will debut innovations and showcase bestsellers. Retailers from around the world attend to discover what's next, build connections, and stay on trend. Retailers and distributors can get 25% off registration now at sweetsandsnacks.com/Indy. This is an industry event. If you're a fan of candy and snacks, you'll have to wait for the latest sweets and snacks on store shelves.
Sometimes an identity threat is a ring of professional hackers. And sometimes it's an overworked accountant who forgot to encrypt their connection while sending bank details.
I need a coffee.
And you need LifeLock, because your info is in endless places. It only takes one mistake to expose you to identity theft. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Don't stress about plumbing repairs. Call LD Smith for honest advice and a free second opinion on any estimate.
LD Smith Plumbing.
A dirty, stinking honest.
I always drive faster when I hear this song, if it ever plays on the radio anymore. This is Tony Katz, Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. You got Matt, you got Carl hanging out, as they always do. A danger zone, not something I should put on the radio as I drive anywhere in the city or world, I think. All right, let's do some other stuff. I have some other things here. First, pay it backwards is something that a dude attempted at a Dunkin' Donuts. This is because a woman told the story virally on TikTok and social media. She pulls up to pay for her meal, and she's told by the cashier that the guy in front of her said it was a pay it backward thing, which is not a real thing. It doesn't exist, where he doesn't pay at all. He just drives away, and the person behind him pays for his meal. And then it's supposed to keep going backward or pay it forward after that point, which is what they say. But that's not a real thing. And so the guy just stole his meal and then lied and said someone was paying for it. Matt Bear, what do you do if you pull in and they're telling you got to pay for the person in front of you's meal who left because it's a pay it backward thing?
I'm like, what the hell? I said I didn't earn this, and why are you even suggesting that I do that? Well, I mean,
Yes,
obviously
sir.
the person. Let's look at this. The person who's taking the money and serving the drinks. You know, they have to balance the register, so you have to tell the next guy coming up in line that,
Yeah.
you're on the
I need
hook,
somebody's back.
and that's.
It's terrible.
I mean, why was this person allowed to pull away without paying? That's what I want to know. Even if you say, yeah, the guy behind me is picking it up. I mean, if I'm the cashier, now granted, these people are going to be a lot younger than I am, probably like half my age, and they don't have a lot of retail business experience. But in my day, if you pull up and say, hey, the next guy's going to pay, that's called stealing. And
it is.
It's felonious activity. You can't be doing that.
Yeah, no, that's why pay it like forward works, because you're paying in advance for someone else. If I were to try to give something to someone and they're like, yeah, no, I'm not going to pay, the guy behind me is, that's a no. You just look at that person and you go, no, that's not how this works. You can pay for their meal and your own, but I'm not giving you anything without sweet, sweet, delicious money being handed to me, because we can't do that. You're absolutely right. I think that this is the mistake of two people. The dishonesty of the human being that wants to try to steal stuff from someone, and then the weakness of the individual who didn't know you're supposed to say no to this, which I feel bad for them, but also, come on now.
But when you pay it forward, do you take care of the tip too? I've always kind of wondered that. I mean, you cover the tip, you put in the 20, 15%, whatever, and say it's a $10 drink. Do you pay the extra $2.50 and say like, okay, I paid it forward, or it's be like, yeah, you can handle the tip. I got the car.
That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that. And also, I wonder if people that are doing the register might lie a little bit then. If they're like, yeah, you got to pay it backwards. That guy, his thing was like 15, and it was really only 10, and you take the other 5 as a tip. Maybe you just enhance it a little, because they don't know what the person behind you ordered. So if they're not throwing the tip down, maybe you just you goose the price a little bit, which you shouldn't do. I'm not encouraging this, but there's no mechanism to stop us in this world. It's just human nature, which makes me think that maybe people enhance the price a little bit once pay it forward starts getting going. I've never thought of that before, though. Go ahead, Matt.
No, it just starting to sound like a grocery store scheme where somebody comes up and says, hey, I'm going to buy you 8 pounds of meat here, and you can run it on my SIS card, SSI card. and it's kind of starting to sound like that a little bit. Pay for it. Yes. Oh, maybe you can get the tip here. I'll get, there's a lot of moving parts to this thing here.
By the way, can I just complain that no one's ever bought me anything? No, nobody's ever done that for me. I've never showed up somewhere and somebody gave me a free thing. It's not fair.
Nobody said we're going to pay for this gentleman's coffee behind me.
Right.
The poor middle-aged white man who doesn't have any kids, and I'm not somebody looks at and is like we got to pay it forward for this guy.
We got to pay for this guy.
Yeah.
All right, I have another
back in the day.
I got another list of stuff. This is a list of outdated slang terms that we might still use and we probably shouldn't use according to the young people. Let's see if any of us do this. Probably the young people is a phrase we shouldn't use either. Gnarly is number 1 on this list. Do you still say that or no?
I splash it in for effect. It doesn't happen very. Oh my Lord! I used gnarly the other day in a traffic tweet. Yeah, there was a crash. I'm like this, but it was like gnarly. It was like the bad gnarly, not like gnarly.
Yeah, no, it wasn't a good gnarly.
No,
it was a bad gnarly.
Oh no,
Did
no,
you
no,
spell
no,
it
no,
correctly, by the way?
With a G, GN.
That's correct.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Look at Matt.
Northern Indiana education right there, baby.
Number 2 is, I don't even know if, anyway, number 2 is stoked on this list of words that we shouldn't use anymore, and we do. And number 3, I use this constantly still, sweet is something apparently the young kids, they judge you if you say sweet in response. I think I text sweet. I'm pretty sure I have 2 sweet texts from yesterday where someone said something to me and I just sent back sweet. One of them might be about. Actually, Matt, one of them might be about doing this show. Oh. I think Carl texted me, "Hey, are you going to jump in tomorrow for Tony?" And I think I said I'd love to, and then he said something else, and I was like, "Sweet." So
sweet.
I think that
you're officially old.
Thank you, buddy. Do you say it or no?
Wicked.
Does anybody else?
I like wicked.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Wicked's on the list. Yeah. It's a word you shouldn't use anymore. According to the golly is on this list.
Don't say
it's way
golly.
Down there.
Never had a golly in my chamber.
Okay.
No.
Number 4 is word on this list, and number 5 is sick. These are all things people don't like anymore.
Sick is kind of, I never understood that. For a while there, another word kind of like made its way into like a cool factor. It's a naughty word I can't say, but it started with a T. And I never understood that one either. It'd be like, yeah, a T word. I'd be like, what are you talking about, dude?
Yeah, why would you say that? By the way, I think that I'm old not because of the slang that I use, but the slang that I hate, right? That's what defines your age. I think all the new slang is very dumb. And I'm very upset that my friends have started to say bet like not their children, but my friends of my age have started to say that word too, because it doesn't, I don't like it. I don't like anything about it. I'm a person who plays poker. If we're betting, I want money to be involved. I want chips to be involved, and I want to have a hand. I don't want to bet with you on whether or not you like or dislike what I just said.
Okay, what's the
like
context here? How are they using bet now?
They always say it. You tell somebody something, they're like, okay, bet. Like that's their I agree with you statement, Matt, and I'm not happy.
I can't
not
keep up. I can't keep up. I can't see.
Okay.
I mean, bet. Yeah. Go
Good.
on.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
it doesn't work.
I'm not going to have anyone out there tell me that anything is sus. I'm not going to do any of these things. I refuse. All right. Well, on that note, we should probably take a break. Bah humbug from me, I guess. Matt, you got some traffic for us?
Yeah, we're looking at westbound 70 right now, coming into downtown on the east side. It looks pretty fantastic. Here for the moment, 4 minutes in from 465 on the east side into the north split. And checking out southbound 65 coming down from Boone County. Good morning, Lebanon. Looking good from US 52 to the Dogleg. 865 continuing to the city center. You'll have no problems to Meridian Street. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go with the pros. Go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Hey, this is Rob.
And this is Casey.
State Treasurer Daniel Elliott will be with us to talk about how our audience helped get the taxpayers in the state a giant win.
Join us Wednesday, 9 until noon on 93 WIBC.
Yeah, we can't predict the markets. We sure can't trust the markets. So where do we put our trust when it comes to our retirement? That's the fiduciary advisors at Trajan Wealth with Indiana Values and Veteran-led. Matt Bear here. What's up? Trajan Wealth advises through Hoosier values like smart money management and loyalty to the customer. Call today and schedule your first appointment and get to know the team. 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Trajan is a fiduciary, meaning they have to act in your best interest. Their advisor get to know you, work with you as a team in optimizing your investments. They're always monitoring the markets, meaning you can sleep well at night, knowing your retirement is in good hands. Call and schedule a consultation at 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Remember, your first appointment is on them. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, and SEC registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or drexelin.com.
It is time to give away 2 tickets to the Sancio Grand Prix. That's right, IndyCar is back, baby. We have 2 tickets available right now to the 10th caller. The 10th caller on our contest line. That line is 317-239-9393. 317-239-9393. Enjoy it. Friday, May 10th. Gates open at 9 o'clock. They stay open until 7 p.m. Because IndyCar is back. The Sancio Grand Prix. 2 tickets right now.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing, must-visit shops. And how healthcare offices become the data managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business. Powering possibilities.
Now through May 4th, new customers can get started with 300 megabit internet and Security Edge for $69 a month for 24 months. And ask how to get free installation on qualifying bundles. Plus, find out how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Call today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Requires enrollment and paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account. Equipment, taxes, and other fees extra. After 24 months, regular rates apply.
Did you know Indiana has a critical shortage of high school referees?
It's causing our games to be canceled or understaffed, and we need your help. I'm Greer Swim from Fishers High School.
And I'm Cooper Allen from Shenandoah High School. We need you so we can keep playing our favorite sports.
So our opportunities to learn aren't limited.
So our experience in high school sports is everything it should be.
With your help, we can make sure we have enough officials for every game.
And student athletes around the state always have the chance to grow through high school sports.
Are you game? Sign up as a high school official in your community today.
I'm IHSAA Commissioner Paul Neidig. High school sports can't happen without high school officials. Help us fill an urgent need in our state so games aren't canceled or understaffed. Visit ihsaa.org to become an official today. This is protecting high school sports. This is serving your community. This is your IHSAA.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
What the president had to say last night in Michigan. There's nothing on radar in downtown Indianapolis. It's 51 degrees. Your high today, 74. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 6:30.
What the world has witnessed in the past 14 weeks is a revolution of common sense. That's all it is, really. We're conservative. You're conservative, you're liberal, whatever the hell. You know what it's all about? It's about common sense.
President Trump at a rally in Michigan to celebrate his first 100 days in office.
After a lifetime of unelected bureaucrats stealing your paychecks, attacking your values, and trampling your freedoms, we are stopping their gravy train, ending their power trip.
Trump spoke for more than an hour.
We have some grandstanders, but every once in a while, not many, but remember who those grandstanders were and vote them the hell out of office, okay? Will you do that?
Meanwhile, Democrats on Capitol Hill have been quick to criticize the president's plan for the nation's economy. No discipline has been discussed yet, but evidence of grade changing within an Indiana school district is apparent, say the people who were hired to find it. Here's Chris Davis.
Grade changing in exchange for money. That appears to be what has been going on in South Bend schools, says an investigator appointed to look into it.
The issue appears to be widespread, with at least 2,500 grades for individual courses that appear to be manipulated in some way over the 3 years that were reviewed.
Diane Frothy says it seems to be a systemic issue with teachers, counselors, and administrators all involved. No names named at Monday's school board meeting. Chris Davis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The NFL draft, lots of people watched it. Try 7.5 million people. It is among the league's most watched draft ever. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. Traffic, weather, and sports together in 3 minutes at 6:32.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio. I'm Alex Brown. Business and community leaders say hard work and collaboration have been key to the growth of Southwest Indiana in recent years, and there is still more work to be done. Speaking at IBJ Media's Innovate Southwest Indiana event on Tuesday, Evansville Regional Economic Partnership CEO Lloyd Winnicky said the state of the region is exceptionally strong.
I think one of the strengths of this region is our willingness to take risk. Nothing happens if we don't take risk. And sometimes that risk is smaller, and other times it's larger.
Winnicky added that quality of life and amenities are a growing concern among site selectors and businesses looking to invest in or relocate to a community. The CEO of the Carmel Chris Kindle Market has resigned. The move comes after months of tension between market leadership and city officials who have raised concerns about the nonprofit's finances. Maria Adele Rosenfeld, who led the Carmel Chris Kindle Market since its inception in 2017, will step away from the organization effective today. A former Hoosier and college administrator with nearly 20 years of experience in Christian higher education has been named the 9th president of Bethel University in Mishawaka. Dee McDonald, vice president of enrollment and marketing at Crown College in Minnesota, will begin his tenure July 1st. This is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Today, you either innovate or evaporate. We are accelerating the pursuit of progress. From the foods we eat to the heights we soar, because this is Indiana, the innovation capital of the world. We rally visionaries across industries, invest in connections as much as capital, and fuel our founders from dorm room to boardroom. Fuel your innovation with Elevate Ventures. Visit elevateventures.com.
Do you own an import-export business?
If so, your company could save time and money with foreign trade zones. FTZs are designated sites across the United States where you can reduce, defer, and even eliminate import duties, helping you stay competitive in the global marketplace. If you're interested in becoming an FTZ, the Indianapolis Airport Authority can sponsor your application and start you on the path to savings, because smart companies get in the zone. Learn more at inzone.org.
Former Indiana congressional candidate Gabriel Whitley was sentenced to 3 months in federal prison Tuesday after he admittedly falsified campaign finance records and lied about raising hundreds of thousands of dollars in campaign contributions ahead of the May 2024 primary. Whitley claimed in the courtroom that he did not know his campaign finance filings were fraudulent, but Judge James Sweeney said his sentence, less than the 6-month maximum that would have been imposed, took into account that Whitley, quote, clearly knew that there was something not proper. I'm Alex Brown for 93 WIBC.
All right, 75th Street closed for nickel plate trail construction. This is East 75th from Graham over to Binford, and that's happening until May 7th. We look at the interstates. They look outstanding here at the moment. Check it out, the Clear Path construction zone on the northeast side. That is 465 and I-69 in that speed camera zone where you can now start getting a ticket. And that began on Monday. This pre-enforcement era ended, and now on your second violation, you're going to have to pay if one of these speed cameras catches you speeding 11 miles per hour over the speed limit. So just a reminder, just a friendly reminder to watch your speed on the northeast side, and more importantly, there will be construction workers out there as the morning progresses. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, north at Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. A 20% chance of showers this afternoon after 2 o'clock, and then also showers are likely tonight. 72 the high, 51 right now the temperature in downtown Indianapolis. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Heating and Cooling Weather Center, 93 WIBC. With sports, Ryan Hedrick.
Craig, good morning at Cambridge Fieldhouse last night.
21 seconds to play. Halliburton drives. He's at the hoop, and he finishes with the left hand as Reed puts him on the floor.
Oh, but he was not finished yet.
Here comes Halliburton. Hits the timeline with 7. Outside the arc with 5. Driving in the lane at the goal. He lays it in with 1 3/10 seconds to go.
Mark Boyle on the Elevance Health Radio Network. Final score in overtime, 119-118. The Pacers seal the deal. The Bucks are going home. And Halliburton talked about the big shot after the game.
It wasn't pretty, but we'll take it and celebrate this one for the night and got to get ready for Cleveland.
And the Pacers are playing Cleveland in the second round. That series starts Sunday on the road. They have their work cut out for them. Sports brought to you by Ball State Athletics. Visit ballstatesports.com. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level on the go and at WIBC.com.
It's Macy's Friends and Family Sale. Hurry in for insider deals on must-have spring styles from your favorite brands, like an extra 30% off new dresses, handbags, and accessories from Karl Lagerfeld Paris, Donna Karan New York, Avec La Fille, and more. Plus, get 15% off fragrances, beauty, and skincare, too. It's not only the best time to shop for yourself, it's also the best time to shop early for Mother's Day. Don't miss Friends and Family, and Sunday at Macy's. Savings off regular and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Mother's Day is almost here. Miss M's Home and Garden is fully stocked with high-quality annuals, trees, shrubs, decor, and more. State Road 135 in Bargersville.
The Attorney General's Office, reuniting Hoosiers with over $1 million in unclaimed property every week. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov or text money to 46220 today.
Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. This story out of South Bend, Indiana, about the school board and all the corruption that exists there. It's crazy. I will first say, before I say anything else about this, that a whole lot of people believe, whether it's teachers' unions or some part of the administrative staff of a whole lot of schools, that, you know, money laundering and corruption and all those things, not exactly shocking. A lot of people believe it's happening. And yet when you read that the accusations and some of the things that investigators brought forward in this thing the other day, in this school board meeting, the other day and some of the investigations into it. 2,500 students had grades changed. 2,500 grades, were changed, maybe multiple by 4 different students. Teachers, counselors, administrators, all in on it, according to the investigators. One student spent 39 minutes in a senior English class and completed all 23 required activities and got a 95 in the course. It's not bad for 39 minutes of work. This is amazing. You know what it actually reminds me of, real quick first, outside of any of what I've said of typical corruption that you expect with anyone that gets their fingers on anything. But it also reminds me of that college conspiracy thing. I don't know if that's the right word to call it, because it definitely happened. Where a whole bunch of famous people were paying schools to let their kids in, which is something that probably a lot of us thought was also happening in schools, in colleges. You donate enough money and your kid gets to go there even if he doesn't have the grades to go. But this is a thing that also became a giant deal and a giant, story. Mostly because of how unfair it is to the people who do it the right way. People like me, people who do not get an A in the course that you wanted an A in. Instead, you get a C because that's what you were capable of. And darn it, that was good enough. That was totally fine. And no one told me you could bribe any teachers and get a better grade in those courses. So, again, I just thought this was really amazing and crazy. And the scope of this thing, as investigators are revealing more information, seems to just be getting wider and wider, bigger and bigger. So it does seem like the kind of thing that might have more breaking information come out about it. And maybe other school systems, other school boards, whoever are nervous because, where there's a fire over here, there might be a fire a whole lot of other places too. But I just thought this was a profoundly interesting story that I wanted to touch on today, and one that continues to have more and more legs as you hear more about it. All right, we'll take a break. A lot coming up throughout the show, including a further discussion about President Trump's 100 days in office, and a hilarious thing he did yesterday at his press conference, or whatever you call it, his giant. I don't know. I don't want to call it like a rally anymore because I know he's not running, or maybe he is running. Actually, that I guess is another thing. But nonetheless, he had a few really funny moments in Michigan last night, so we'll talk about those too. This is Craig Collins filling in. Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC.
Another update is just minutes away.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer.
It's been 100 days of hell.
Border security with a big drop in illegal immigration.
Hear the news.
Straight line wind damage is the biggest concern today.
We'll have a threat for some severe thunderstorms moving through the area.
As events happen.
Basically the Indy metro area and points southeast.
We'll happen to be there.
Indiana Fever getting ready for the preseason.
93 WIBC Mobile News.
You love spring in Indy, but you hate to paint, so do what Judy did. She called Rhino Shield.
The house that Rhino Shield did for my husband and I, after having the house painted with kind of usual house paint, I was seeing cracks appearing about every 3 years and just wasn't very satisfied with that.
Rhino Shield's a ceramic coating specifically formulated for our unique climate.
I can't speak highly enough about the Rhino Shield crew. They also were great at working with me to get the exact right color because I was very particular.
Indy, you too can have the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield right now for 15% off the regular price.
I would not hesitate to call Rhino Shield, and I am just thrilled to recommend Rhino Shield to my friends and neighbors and family.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Hi, Jeff Roush for Tom Roush Lincoln. Right now,
get Lincoln's employee pricing on most all new Lincolns at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers. Get up to $20,000 off select 2024 Navigators, up to $8,000 off select 2024 Nautilus, or up to $7,000 off select 2024 Corsair at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Navigator MSRP 105,575, Nautilus MSRP 6195, Corsair MSRP 47,820. Offers good through 4/30/2025. Navigators excluded from employee pricing. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Big Joe here for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical.
Summer heat is coming. Will your air conditioner be ready? Don't risk an expensive breakdown. A quick tune-up from B&W catches problems early and keeps your family cool and comfortable. Join thousands of Hoosiers who trust B&W. Call 317-214-0108 or go to bplusw.com today.
B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical, your American Standard dealer since 1961.
Sometimes an identity threat is a ring of professional hackers. And sometimes it's an overworked accountant who forgot to encrypt their connection while sending bank details.
I need a coffee.
And you need LifeLock because your info is in endless places. It only takes one mistake to expose you to identity theft. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at lifelock.com. Terms apply.
How do our roads look?
Northbound 65 out of the north split slow to West Street, and inbound 69 still looking good coming down from Fishers from 106 to 465 moving up to speed, and then westbound 465 now stop and go traffic out of Meridian 31 over to Ditch Road, and I do see emergency vehicles over on the right shoulder at Ditch, so that's slowing us down here at the moment. More information on that coming up at 6:55 here with WIBC Traffic. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146 and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. 20% chance of showers this afternoon, and showers are also likely thunderstorms as well tonight before 11 o'clock. 51 right now, 72 the high. Today, that temperature brought to you by the American Standard Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
I'm sure everyone says this, but my mom really deserves the world. This year, I finally found a Mother's Day gift that comes close. She loves Hellsberg, so I'm getting her these timeless gold earrings she can enjoy for years to come. They feel special enough to show how much I truly appreciate everything she does for me. And I mean everything. I even sent my dad a link to the Diamond Eternity band he'll be getting her, too.
Save up to 50% on Mother's Day gifts Mom will cherish forever. Visit Hellsberg.com or a store near you.
The news everyone's talking about, you'll find it at WIBC.com. The latest from City Hall, the White House, or the State House. Updated all day. Don't miss what matters. Stay in the know while you're on the go at WIBC and WIBC.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-213-5757. 800-213-5757.
Tune in to the Absolute Retirement Planning Show.
When retirement comes about, we're now relying on what we have saved to meet those needs.
Sundays at 9 a.m. right here on 93 WIBC.
Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins filling in. You got Matt, you got Carl hanging out as they do every single morning on this show. A local story that's very strange broke a few days ago. Thank you to Carl, producer, for sending this along. Carl Showbiz. A woman captured a maintenance worker going to the bathroom in her sink. Doing a number one in her sink. Yeah, it's real bad. She had cameras in the house, so she saw this happen on the Ring camera, and then the police got involved. I feel like that's not enough, man. I would want to do some sort of revenge against this guy if it was this woman. Matt, what do you think of this?
Why does this woman have cameras in her toilet?
Oh, that's an interesting question.
Yeah, it's not in the toilet. This is
sink,
like
but it's in the bathroom.
I say toilet for anything that has, like, it could be a bifurcated, a portaletta, a commode in an airplane. Everything's toilet to me. Why does this woman? There's a bifurcated reference, by the way. Why does this woman have a camera in her bathroom? That's what I want to know. Was she suspecting nefarious activity here? She just like, hey, this is a great place for my security system. I'm going to stick this in.
Probably her sink was stinking.
Underneath
so
the ram.
The camera there.
Yeah. Maybe she just has like deep mistrust issues. So
well, she
puts
has
cameras in whenever. whenever cameras are needed for anyone in her house. But apparently it worked out for her because she caught someone doing something horrible. So
All's
really,
well that ends well. Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
I'm going to put a camera in my bathroom so I can record where I miss overnight from now on. I think that's going to be the next. Sorry about breakfast, everybody. Yeah, I mean, it worked out. I'm glad. I mean, what? She has a maintenance worker over. He comes over, and what is he pouring? What is he doing here?
He's repairing a broken water heater.
Okay.
And then as he's doing that, he's also taking a leak, and he goes in the sink.
Okay. Well, because the toilet's broken, right? I mean, if he's doing broken water heater, so you got to go in the sink. All right. To me, he's exonerated. That's okay because you have to go somewhere. I mean,
Judge Bear.
You know, it's either you go to the sink, like if he's fixing my apartment, you go to the sink, or you go to the balcony. And I'm saying you go to the sink because I don't want to be people are eating it. Yeah, it's underneath me, and I don't want somebody doing that.
No, fair enough, Matt. I would prefer someone go balcony, though, if I'm being honest. Like, I would much rather.
That's a tough sell, brother.
I know it's a tough sell. I know it's going to be different. But for me, it's better because they're not going in my sink.
Yeah, but it's Mr. Bear. It's your company. You're living right now. It happens to be urinating off your balcony, and this is your apartment. You're responsible. This is your eviction notice. You know, I mean, it's if you go to the sink, I can clean the sink. I can't find a new place to live. That's what I'm saying.
But let's be truly honest about this. We've been bestowed a gift biologically by the world. He can go outside and find somewhere to go where he's hiding if he has to, and no one catches him. Like, that's the gift that God gave us. He can go outside and, relieve himself without anyone being the wiser.
Why do we even have rest stops? I mean, we have a shoulder. We do. The interstate, we have ditches. It's a good thing.
I mean, Matt, I don't want to make this awkward, but you're going to claim that you've never gone to the restroom outdoors. It's never happened for Matt Bear.
Yeah, it's happened a lot. To be honest, there was a thing. I mean,
we've all done it.
When I was in Cub Scouts, when I was 8 years old, there was we were on a nature trail, and it was 14 miles. They took us on the wrong one, and
it happens. You got to dig a hole too sometimes.
No, they didn't want a hole. They wanted me in the hole. That's if there was a hole dug, I would have been in it because of what I did. Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. I'm going to move on so people can eat their breakfast. I enjoyed those jokes quite a bit, though. A couple other ones that I love as far as stupid criminals go. That guy was a dumb criminal because he got caught doing a crime on a camera. This guy was wearing a retired drug dealer shirt. I think this was in Florida.
Awesome.
And he got arrested. Guess what he was doing? He was dealing drugs. He was not actually retired.
No!
Yes. Yeah, he didn't know how they caught him, but he's an Uber driver too, by the way, which is my favorite part of this story. And eventually got caught with, and these are the things he had on him: a meth pipe, a bag of pills, a digital scale, packaging, baggies and other things, cash, 3 cell phones, and 24 grams of meth.
It's all his buddies, I mean, it's not mine. Sorry, my friend left all his stuff in my car.
Yeah. If you're an Uber driver and you have an Uber phone, and then you have your real phone, and then your drug dealer phone, I wonder if you ever get those confused.
Trying to text mom, sending mom a dime back. I love you.
Right. Yeah. Or the person you're about to pick up for Uber. You're like, yeah, that'll be $100 for this amount of whatever. Yeah, right? Not good.
I have to admire the entrepreneurship of merging the Uber with the illicit selling of the product. I mean, that's making a lot of money. Come on, man. I mean, these are serious drugs too. They're gross. I mean, it's stuff you shouldn't be. We're joking.
No.
But
no, absolutely, you shouldn't be doing any of this stuff. We can do that as the PSA for the day. Don't do drugs. Brought to you by WIBC, Craig Collins, Matt Bear, Carl. Absolutely don't do that. But one last thing, Matt. I'm just mad he also lied about being retired for some reason. That also is getting me upset, is that at least wear the, partially retired drug dealer shirt or semi-retired.
Or just drug dealer.
Yeah, or just make it real easy for us and we're drug dealer. I don't know why he thought that would protect him, by the way. He's like, no one will figure this out. I'm retired.
Is this what we have to do to make money when we retire? Should I be...
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry. I'm texting my dad. What did you do when you got up here this morning? Yeah, I mean, I hope he's not taking any kind of government medical assistance or anything for his retirement.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope he's not getting benefits right now.
Yeah, I don't know. Does your dad drive for Uber, by the way?
I'm trying to get him to. He won't do anything. I'm trying to get him to drive for Uber.
Yeah, that's a gateway. That's a gateway profession, drug dealing. Just so you know, be careful.
Of course, I learned that in high school when the state police officer came in. He had that big case full. He's like, "Don't drive Uber."
Oh my God! All right, we got to do some traffic. Matt, what do you got?
No, it looks pretty good right now, Craig, as we check 465, 52.7 miles of the USS Indianapolis Memorial Highway. Now we have a west side crash at southbound 465, shy of Rockville Road at West 10th Street. And right now the center lane is blocked. A little bit of a delay, maybe by about 2 minutes as you make your way through, but there is definitely a slowdown. Westbound 465, we have a fire truck on the right shoulder with its rollers on. This is at Ditch Road. And right now we do have a backup from Ditch Road to Meridian Street, so that's slowing us down a bit. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. Matt Bear, WIBC Traffic.
Promises made, promises kept. Governor Mike Braun's bold leadership is already getting things done for Hoosiers. Governor Braun and State House Republicans are delivering massive property tax cuts. We're talking nearly $1.5 billion in relief. That's real money back in homeowners' pockets. But Braun didn't stop there. He cut local income tax capacity by nearly $2 billion and capped the local income tax rate to protect Hoosiers. And Braun led the fight to reform local government taxes, giving Hoosiers more say by requiring referendums be held in high-turnout elections. Thanks to Governor Braun and State House Republicans, your property taxes will be lower, future increases are reined in, and the system is now more transparent. Visit HoosierHope.org and let Governor Braun and Republican legislators know you support historic property tax cuts. Paid for by HoosierHope.org.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and nearly 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. Left untreated, these veins can cause tired, heavy legs, swelling, burning, cramping, aching, even restless leg syndrome. In some cases, it can lead to serious health risks like blood clots. USA Vein Clinics offers minimally invasive treatments that take as little as 15 minutes, covered by most insurances. Call 317-516-6861 and schedule your appointment today. Don't wait. 317-516-6861 for free information today. Imagine walking, exercising, and sleeping peacefully again. Varicose and spider veins won't go away on their own. USA Vein Clinics can help. Call 317-516-6861 for fast, easy, affordable solutions. USA Vein Clinics treatments are covered by most insurance plans. Don't put this off any longer. Call 317-516-6861.
Hi, this is Chris Cox, owner of Chimney Solutions, Indiana. We're celebrating our 10th year in business. Call this month to take advantage of 10% off all chimney sweeps and inspections. We're also celebrating the opening of our new fireplace showroom on 86th Street and Lafayette Road. Come and experience our exclusive lines of wood-burning and gas fireplaces.
Call 317-757-6979 or chimneyindy.com.
It's the Bash Sale, the biggest automotive sale in history. Your local Bill Estes dealerships are coming in hot with deals on trucks you don't want to miss. We have a huge selection of trucks at one easy online stop. Brand new Chevy, Ford, GMC, Jeep, Ram, and Toyota trucks with a massive pre-owned selection too. Plus, our fair and direct upfront pricing means what you see is what you pay. Shift into savings during the Bash Sale, only at Bill Estes dealerships, and drive away in your dream truck today. Online at BillEstesTrucks.com.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577.
Service today?
Today.
Make this your year. Looking for a new career in the high-demand fields of IT, cybersecurity, and AI? Attend classes live, online, or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify.
I gave it a shot, and I came in and had the procedure done. To me, it was amazing because I don't think I ever breathed that clear. I wish I would have done it 20 years ago.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recyclers Studios, how one basket changed the vibe for an entire arena, and more stories after Fox News. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1, Indianapolis. It's 7 o'clock.
It was like a Trump campaign rally. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
What the world has witnessed in the past 14 weeks is a revolution of common sense. That's all it is.
The president marking day 100 of term 2 in Warren, Michigan.
We're ending the inflation nightmare, the worst that we've had probably in the history of our country, getting woke lunacy and transgender insanity the hell out of our government.
President Trump also touted a big drop in illegal immigration, securing the border, and he talked up his trade policies.
I've imposed 25% tariffs on foreign aluminum and steel. It's keeping our steel mills going.
But the president is giving U.S. automakers a break from those tariffs amid ongoing economic uncertainty. And after a cabinet meeting this morning, President Trump will meet with business leaders to announce new investments in the U.S. Now, Democrats call the first 100 days of the second Trump term a disaster. Chaos, touting low Trump approval poll numbers.
He's acting like a king, a mob boss, a wannabe dictator. He said he wanted to be a dictator on day one. It looks like he's extending it.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, as Democrats spoke into the night at the Capitol, Senator Tammy Baldwin says there's an
unimaginable amount of havoc and harm President Donald Trump has caused for Wisconsinites.
Now, a judge in her state has been suspended by the Wisconsin Supreme Court. Milwaukee County Circuit Judge Hannah Dugan was arrested last week and faces federal charges, accused of trying to shield an illegal immigrant from being arrested at her courthouse. A suspected terrorist has been arrested in Iraq, linked to that New Year's Day attack in New Orleans when a man inspired by ISIS drove a truck into a crowd, killing 14 people.
Iraqi authorities say the ISIS suspect, who was not named, is expected to stand trial in Iraq under that nation's anti-terrorist laws for being a member of ISIS. But specifics on how the suspect encouraged the attack is not yet known.
That's Fox's Gernal Scott. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A sellout crowd that got their money's worth. A beautiful morning in downtown Indianapolis. Nothing on radar. 51 degrees. Your high today, 74. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 7:02. In front of a sellout crowd at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, the Indiana Pacers delivered in a big way a playoff series victory. John Herrick was there.
After the Pacers fell behind by as many as 20 points in the first half against the Milwaukee Bucks, they fought back to win the game in overtime and clinch the series 4-1. Pacer head coach Rick Carlisle said this was another example of fortune favoring the bold.
Our guys were bold in the last 3 quarters. We're very thankful and very grateful to be moving on.
And next up, they head to the Eastern Conference semifinals, where they face the team with the best record in the conference, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Reporting from Gainbridge Fieldhouse, John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And after the game, Tyrese Halliburton's father got into a shoving match with Bucks star Giannis Antetokounmpo. His dad says he will never do that again. You may have heard about a serial killer from decades ago and the human remains that police found on a farm. There's a new development in that case.
It took decades to identify the remains of Daniel Thomas Halloran. He's the 10th person identified and linked to alleged serial killer Herb Baumeister. His remains were found on Fox Hollow Farm, Baumeister's former home. That Westfield property has been the site of multiple forensic investigations after authorities learned of possible crimes and found human remains there.
And that's Wish TV's Danielle Zukowski reporting. An ethics complaint against Indiana Attorney General Todd Rokita might have been already resolved, had he taken public reprimand, as the Indiana Judicial Disciplinary Commission says he agreed to last year. But Rokita says he's going to keep fighting.
Look, this is going to be a long, unfortunately for the taxpayers of the state, the distraction it's causing my staff and my office is going to be a longer baseball game.
And Rokita joined WIBC's Hammer and Nigel. He believes the commission is just posturing. He doesn't believe there's anything wrong with the comments that he made to Fox News 2 years ago about Dr. Caitlin Bernard. No discipline has been discussed, but evidence of grade changing within an Indiana school district is apparent, say the people who were hired to find it. Here's Chris Davis.
Grade changing in exchange for money. That appears to be what has been going on in South Bend schools, says an investigator appointed to look into it.
The issue appears to be widespread, with at least 2,500 grades for individual courses that appear to be manipulated in some way over the 3 years that were reviewed.
Diane Frothy says it seems to be a systemic issue with teachers, counselors, and administrators all involved. No names named at Monday's school board meeting. Chris Davis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And you're paying an average of $3.02 for a gallon of gas today, says AAA. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level on the go. And at WIBC.com at 7:05. Traffic on the fives. Good morning, Matt Bear.
What's happening, Ryan, on the north side? Westbound 465 at Ditch. We have emergency vehicles on the right shoulder. That slows us back to Meridian Street. Inbound 69, you have company around 96th Street. No delay at the moment. And then checking the west side. Southbound 465. Stall at West 10th on the left shoulder, causing us to slow a little bit back to 21st. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the fives. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Wish TV meteorologist Marcus Bailey. Good morning. How does our weather look?
Hey, Craig, good morning. On this Wednesday here, we're dry, got some sunshine here. It's a little cool this morning, but we're quiet. Should be a decent day today. We're going to go partly cloudy. As we get through the heating in the afternoon, I wouldn't rule out maybe a few spotty showers and thunderstorms, but certainly not as widespread as yesterday. Today's high, 73. We're mostly cloudy tonight. We're not as cool, and a few isolated showers and storms overnight, a low of 62. Thursday, mostly cloudy skies. Really could have some scattered showers and thunderstorms at any part of the day. For the afternoon, there could be a few gusty storms. Be aware of that. Thursday's high 65. Friday, then morning showers. Otherwise, we're mostly cloudy with highs into the upper 60s.
Thank you very much, Marcus. Right now, it is 7:06 Wednesday morning.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Miss M's Home and Garden, Johnson County's spring nursery headquarters.
Tony Katz, the morning news, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. Ryan Hedrick is sitting in front of a microphone because last night's game for the Pacers was insane. The Bucks at one point had a 98% chance to win that game, as they are probably supposed to when you're up 7 points with 35 seconds left in the game itself. Before we talk about the crazy thing that happened at the end of the game, man, what were your reactions to the fact that the Pacers came all the way back and won this thing, especially the fact that it was 2 layups late in the game? That's a defensive breakdown, even Giannis being on that last play, if you ever see one, because you shouldn't have 2 straight layups to win a basketball game in the NBA. At least that's my assumption. What do you got, Ryan?
It's par for the course with this series, Craig. I mean,
sure.
The Pacers were down by 17, I think 18 points in the first quarter. They came out, they were shooting 25 to 30%. They were lifeless. And I think really the early start time for the game kind of dictated their mood, because remember, the game started at 6 because we had 4 playoff games last night, 2 of which I think were in the Eastern Conference. So I think the start time dictated their mood, but they came out and they were able to creep to within 6 at the half. And then in the second half, it was an entirely different game. They had more energy. Yes. Their shot making was more consistent. And you cannot say enough about the resilience of Tyrese Halliburton, because remember, this guy missed several 3-pointers in overtime and righted the ship with a dramatic game ender.
Yeah, with 2 dramatic. I mean, the fact that he got fouled and gets a 3-point play, they go down court, the Bucks somehow lose possession of the ball out of bounds, and then with no timeouts, the Pacers do it again, and Halliburton again with a layup to win this game. Let's talk about his dad. Did you hear what the accusation was that caused Giannis to have a head touch moment with Tyrese's pop?
I didn't hear what the specific allegation was, but I think on a deeper level, it stems from, games of the Bucks talking smack about Halliburton. And I think the underlying issue here is, and Halliburton said as much on social media after the game, like hours after he won the game for his team to advance to the next round, he said, overrate that. This guy is not happy with being named by anonymous players as an overrated player. That makes his blood boil because he's competitive.
Yeah, and it would make his dad very mad. Apparently, there might have been some cursing, some yelling, some flag waving. From what I understand, I don't know if that's true or not. That's at least the accusation. No one's going to say we know for sure. I will say this, though, and Giannis said it, and I thought it was interesting, that he thinks that you should win with class, and that's what made him mad. He thought that didn't happen, at least for a member of the family of an Indiana Pacer. The world we live in, though, is so different in sports, Ryan, and maybe you can talk about that a little bit. Like, I'm a baseball fan, and I loved old school baseball. You hit a home run, you run around the bases like you've done it before. Now you have a party, essentially. I think you, at second base, throw some sort of like mixtape on and do a little bit of a dancing thing. It's a very different world in sports. I don't know that the Pacers even really abused that the way that Giannis thought they did, or at least Tyrese's dad did. But it's a thing where it seems like you have to tolerate more celebrating after some winning.
I would argue that Giannis is among the classless, and he demonstrated that last year. Let me take you back to Milwaukee when he ran off the court with the ball. Do you remember that? That was a big controversy. So Giannis talking about class to me is kind of head scratching. But listen, this series had everything. It had dramatic finishes. It had blowouts. It had come from behinds. It had, the moment where the Indiana Pacers were locked and loaded and ready to just run away with the series until they weren't. I mean, Gary Trent Jr. making all those three-pointers in overtime and then coughing up the eventual play that led to the game winner. So, Giannis talking about class to me is laughable. This is a guy who is ultra competitive and does anything it takes to win.
Right. Yes, absolutely. You're totally right about that. I forgot about it until you reminded me of the taking the ball with you and going home move, which is hilarious.
And nobody could figure out why he took the ball in the first place.
No, but by the way, the thing that's crazy about this, too, is that they actually came back from being down that many points with that amount of time left. You're not human if you don't celebrate that somehow. You can't pretend that you're not as surprised as everybody else in the arena that you just won this game. And the Pacers' 4-1 win in the series might also have made Giannis a little bit unhappy. But nonetheless, I thought it was a pretty interesting moment when you have an NBA player with his head on his forehead on the forehead of the father of another NBA player.
It was a shocking scene. I don't know if I've ever actually seen a player and the parent of a player go head-to-head after the game like this, but it's good for the NBA, right? It's good for ratings. Sure. What's good for the goose is good for the gander, and I think at some point we have to embrace this as the new rivalry in basketball because let's admit it, I mean, the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to be a tough task. They advanced to the second round of the playoffs with a 57-point win over the Miami Heat. Think about that for 57 points. That's like a preseason game, and the Heat didn't even put up a fight. So the Pacers are early underdogs. I think they're 7.5 to 8.5 point underdogs for the game one in Cleveland. Time to be announced, but it's time for the Pacers to rejoice. Craig, there were people dancing on top of cars after the game. There were people dancing on top of cars outside of Gamebridge Fieldhouse after the game. It was a great night for Indianapolis and a great night to be a Pacers fan.
By the way, for all the anger that might have existed between Halliburton's father and Giannis, apparently Boomer and Brooke Lopez are quite friendly. I don't know if you saw that after, but this TV scanned to Brooke, and he was dapping up Boomer. And apparently this happened before, yes.
Everybody loves Boomer. I love Boomer.
Absolutely. Even after you lose a game that late, you're going to be like, it's fine.
Yeah,
maybe Brooke is showing that he'd like to be a Pacer.
Sure. I really think we need to stop talking about Tyrese Halliburton as being underrated because I had a text exchange with a buddy of mine. It was going on for about 10 minutes as the game was going on. And I'm hard on Tyrese Halliburton. I think he disappeared last year in the playoffs against the New York Knicks, but he really changed my mind last night. And if this guy can step up and take responsibility for his role as the leader of the team, I think the Pacers can really get past Cleveland. And if they get past Cleveland with the injuries that the Boston Celtics have had, I think they can go to the NBA Finals.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that Cleveland is the true test now, and then it's wide open to the finals. All right, thank you, Ryan, for all that chatting about Pacers and the craziness that went, national news viral. We'll take a break. Traffic and stuff coming up in a bit. Craig Collins filling in. Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC.
All right, Craig, inbound 69.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-213-5757. 800-213-5757.
My bad, Matt Bear. How does the traffic look?
I don't know what day it is. Inbound 69, slow roll 106 Street down to 465. And westbound 70 good into the north split from 465 on the east side, running at 4 minutes. And if you're heading down to the airport from the downtown hotels, doing some ride sharing this morning, westbound 70 looking fantastic from Meridian West Street out to the airport collector with Ronald Reagan Parkway to Ameriplex. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. There's going to be a chance of rain today after 2 and then also before 11 o'clock tonight. Scattered showers and thunderstorms are likely. Right now it's 51 in downtown Indianapolis. The high today is 72. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Heating and Cooling Weather Center, 93 WIBC.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-213-5757. 800-213-5757.
Everyone's talking about Galaxy Concrete Coating and their transformation, like your neighbor Mike.
Well, the local company that we used first was highly recommended by people in our neighborhood. We did not know until after it didn't work on our floor. It just healed up like a cheap suit. And so my wife says, we got to do something. And so she started looking around on the internet and she found Galaxy.
Lots of styles to choose from, 4 times stronger than epoxy, and it comes with a lifetime warranty.
We got Galaxy out here. They got here at about 8 o'clock in the morning and they finished up at 6 o'clock that night. Other than having a beautiful garage floor, you couldn't tell they were here. Just did a wonderful job on it.
Galaxy Concrete Coatings works for any area like patios, garage floors, driveways, and around pools.
Still looks fantastic, and anybody that visits our house, that's all they want to talk about. I mean, they just can't believe how nice the garage floor looks.
Click on GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com and remember to like us on Facebook, GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com. We are out of this world.
Beck Toyota has been sold to the Hubler Automotive Group. But before the Hubler name comes, everything goes. And when Hubler says everything goes, we mean it. Every pre-owned Corolla, Camry, RAV4, Highlander, Tacoma, Tundra, every car, every truck, everything in the showroom, everything on the lot. Need credit? Managers will be on site, accepting applications for immediate review. Plus, Hubler's got you covered. Every Q-certified vehicle includes our 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Before the grand opening of Hubler Toyota, everything goes. It's your chance to save like never before. Don't miss it. When Hubler says everything goes, we mean it. On US 31 South in Indianapolis, across from Hubler Chevrolet. Visit HublerToyota.com. Before the Hubler name comes, everything goes. Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Hi, Jeff Roush for Tom Roush Lincoln. Right now,
get Lincoln's employee pricing on most all new Lincolns at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers. Get up to $20,000 off select 2024 Navigators, up to $8,000 off select 2024 Nautilus, or up to $7,000 off select 2024 Corsair at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Navigator MSRP 105,575, Nautilus MSRP 6195, Corsair MSRP 47,820. Offers good through 4/30/2025. Navigators excluded from employee pricing. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Gearing up for the popcorn moment, brought to you by Boer Remodeling. Yeah, I know. I took the day off to rest the arm and hopefully get some good healing from this thing. But the work, it continues. And Boer Remodeling, they do the work. That kitchen, that master bathroom, how about the basement, turning it into some great part of the house as opposed to some place you just put stuff you don't want to see anymore? Boer Remodeling has got you covered, taking care of Central Indiana. For over 2 decades, design experts that can use an existing layout or begin completely from scratch, guys. Creating custom kitchen plans that work best with your space. Create an open floor plan with a beautiful new island and plenty of seating. Boer Remodeling delivers quality work on time with a service-oriented attitude. You can have that master bath of yours be that spa retreat you've always wanted. Increase the value of your home, increase the value of your life. Their 5-step design process, from start to finish, consultation to construction, means you know exactly what's happening, and it's happening exactly the way you want it. Boer Remodeling. Call them today. 317-852-5546. 317-852-5546. Boer Remodeling. 852-5546, or online at Boer. BOOHER. BoerRemodeling.com. The popcorn moment. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Sometimes I do that 3 times. Sometimes I do it 4 times. I don't know which one is better, really. All I know is it's a good popcorn moment, and Craig has got you covered. Craig, it's all yours.
Thank you, Tony. Let's go with a twofer today. We got 2 from President Trump, 1 from his rally last night in Michigan.
He's just a child. All right, get him out. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, ma'am. I thought it was a guy.
Oopsie.
Thank you.
Can't do that now.
And she now has to go home to a mother who's a big Trump fan. Her mother's watching.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Oh, my gosh, this is great.
I'm sorry. I said he, and it's a she. I'm sorry.
I don't know why I'm so amused by that one, but Trump is so very different than anyone else who's ever had the role of president. And a lot of us like it. Some of us hate it. One more of the popcorn moments. Also, Trump last night. I think this was the ABC exclusive interview that aired.
And as you said, it is an undeniable fact that illegal crossings at the southern border have plummeted, a staggering decline. But there are questions about your methods. And so I want to ask about my message? Methods. About your methods. How you're accomplishing
They seem to work.
They seem to work. They seem to be going pretty well. Was an answer to the question of staggering amount of, decline in people illegally crossing the border into our country. What do you say about that, sir? I say good job. What do you want me to say about it? Both of those were pretty interesting. But honestly, Trump in rally mode is something where you can always have probably popcorn moment after popcorn moment. You know what? I feel like I'll do 3, which is not the intention of the popcorn moment, but there were 3 that happened yesterday, at least to me. These were, you got to grab the popcorn, sit down and watch. The end of the Pacer game feels like its own version of a popcorn moment. I have the edit. I have the last 3 buckets, and so let's do this too. Why not? 3 popcorn moments today. Here we go.
7-point lead. Nemhard with a 3. Good.
Buckets.
Still time to go. 4-point game. Halliburton attacking. And the foul.
Second bucket.
17.1 to go.
Down the baseline and force them to foul you. As soon as you pick it up, you give the advantage to the defense.
1-point game. Here we go. Halliburton. 5 seconds. 4 seconds. Halliburton for the lead. 1.3.
Crazy. And no timeouts for the Bucks, so they have to heave a shot from a full court that definitely misses. You come all the way from being, down 7, 35 seconds left to score 8 unanswered points and win the entire series, not just a playoff game, but you win the entire series. That's a popcorn moment, if ever there was a popcorn moment. So I think that's on the list too. By the way, the Bucks had a 98% chance to win that game with 35 seconds left, and they lost. So you got to think that the Pacers, I know this isn't a sports show, and I know that the popcorn moment probably isn't usually sports, but you got to think that the Pacers are going to have a lot of momentum going into the next series against a team that also has a lot of momentum. So hopefully good things happen. And I will say one other thing. This is not sports, analysts per se or any of that. Don't destroy the city. If the team wins more times, if they go more rounds, if they make it further, don't be like the other cities out there that destroy it as soon as good things happen. I've never understood that. I've never understood how the sports celebration goes to the sports destruction of a city in rapid speed. So don't do that, people out there. Just celebrate happily without lighting anything on fire. That would be my PSA for the day. Light nothing on fire if your team wins in a round or eventually wins a championship. I feel like we should ban that. Ban any kind of setting of fires, and we'll all be further ahead for sure. All right, we'll take a break on that. I think the marketplace is coming up next. We're going to give away tickets a little bit later on to IndyCar. Matt, how do the roads look?
Inbound 69, Craig, 6-minute delay from 116th Street down to 465. Still on the northeast side, 75th Street shut down from Graham to Binford because of nickel plate trail construction going on until May the 7th. Everything out to the airport here, no problems here this morning. South side, eastbound 465, stop and go traffic from I-69 over to Harding Street. Northwest side, northbound 465 slows from 86th Street up to 865. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146 and River Road at North Shadeland or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Coming up on the Hammer and Nigel Show, a recap of Donald Trump's first 100 days address in Michigan and what happened with the Pacer playoffs. Tony Kinnett also on the program, 93 WIBC.
Let's go ahead and give away a couple tickets to IndyCar. We have the first IndyCar Grand Prix event coming up on the 10th. So third caller this time. Let's do the third caller to our contest line, 317-239-9393. 317-239-9393 wins you 2 tickets out of the upcoming IndyCar event on May 10th. Get there, have fun, enjoy the legendary Brickyard. A third caller right now.
You love spring and Indy, so don't spend it painting. Do what your neighbor Mike did. He called Rhino Shield.
Our home is basically a contemporary, and we just started noticing that the paint was just fading and just looked like garbage. We had received a postcard from Rhino Shield, and we decided to take a look at it.
Rhino Shield's formulated for our specific climate here in Indiana.
The process with Rhino Shield and their crew, they were just very conscientious. We had problems in the past with painters. They leave debris and everything. Well, we didn't have that with Rhino Shield.
Way better than paint, backed by a 25-year warranty. Right now, get the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 15% off the regular price.
The thing about Rhino Shield, the heat gain has been reduced, and we save $70 a month. You don't hear that about any type of paint.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
This is Sammy Terry. There are 2 things guaranteed in life: death and taxes. Death can be painful, but paying your taxes doesn't have to be, with a little extra cash in your pocket from Indiana Unclaimed. Yes, George, you're right. George the Spider reminds us that Indiana Unclaimed returns over $1 million every single week, and there are hundreds of millions of dollars just waiting to be claimed by the rightful owner. Text Sammy to 46220 to find out if you or your loved ones have unclaimed funds. Claim yours today. Text Sammy to 46220 now.
Big Joe here for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical.
With a B&W Premier Club membership, you'll stay ahead of breakdowns and costly repairs. Our members get routine maintenance, priority scheduling, and exclusive discounts, saving you money and keeping your family comfortable all season long. Visit bplusw.com or call 317-214-0108 for more information.
B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical, your American Standard dealer since 1961.
Dear driver, thank you. Thank you for slowing down when you saw the orange cones and road construction signs. My husband is one of those road workers. And today, you saved his life. If you hadn't slowed down, you would have missed that lane change, driven right into the work zone, and you would have killed him. Because you were driving differently. He'll be at our son's Little League game this weekend. He'll be there to walk our daughter down the aisle. He'll be out there tomorrow, making Indiana's roads safer. Thank you.
When driving in a construction zone, be smart, be alert, be in the zone.
This is Brian Short, business manager for the Indiana Laborers District Council. Everyone deserves a safe place to work. Do your part in the cone zone. Slow down, save lives. We're all in this together.
A message from Indiana's District Council of Laborers International Union of North America and affiliated locals.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing, must-visit shops. And how healthcare offices become the data managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business. Powering possibilities.
Now through May 4th, new customers can get started with 300 megabit internet and Security Edge for $69 a month for 24 months. And ask how to get free installation on qualifying bundles. Plus, find out how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Call today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account. Equipment, taxes, and other fees extra. After 24 months, regular rates apply.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
He says what he did in his first 100 days in office will eventually make us great again. There's nothing on radar in the capital city. 56 degrees right now. 74 is the high. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 7:31.
On day one, I created that right now very successful Department of Government Efficiency headed by Elon. That was a big thing doing that. I mean, the numbers are really incredible.
President Trump at a rally in Michigan last night to celebrate his first 100 days in office.
The president also spoke about his plans moving forward.
To further rebuild the industrial bedrock of our country, I've imposed 25% tariffs on foreign aluminum and steel. It's keeping our steel mills going.
Meanwhile, Senate Democrats held an anti-Trump all-nighter on the Senate floor in protest of the president's first 100 days.
And that's Fox's Brooks Singman reporting Trump will meet with his cabinet this morning in Washington, D.C. People that own homes in Vigo County are reacting to sharp increases in their property assessments this year. Some people are saying their assessments jumped up 40%. County Assessor Kevin Gardner says the hikes are tied to new state costs table that reflect rising construction costs, not physical changes to the homes. He says that even his own property value jumped nearly $50,000. A U.S. automaker is recalling lots of vehicles.
General Motors recalling nearly 600,000 vehicles in the U.S. due to potential manufacturing defects that could cause engine failure. Vehicles recalled include the 2021 to 2024 Cadillac Escalade, Cadillac Escalade ESV, Chevy Silverado 1500, Chevy Suburban, Chevy Tahoe, GMC Sierra 1500, GMC Yukon, and GMC Yukon XL vehicle, the ones with 6.2-liter and V8 gas engines.
That's Fox News reporter Sue Guzman. Coffee, anyone? Well, not at this Starbucks location. Johnette Cruz reports.
A Greenwood Starbucks became the center of a disagreement Monday when Indianapolis resident Jackie Bledsoe, a black man, had police called on him. Bledsoe, who works at the location after dropping his son off nearby, hadn't placed his mobile order when approached by employees who insisted on an immediate order for Wi-Fi use. Despite Bledsoe's intent to order, the employee called police citing trespassing. Bledsoe said the officers acted professionally but expressed concern about racial bias in the area. Starbucks isn't new to these issues, which prompted a company-wide anti-bias training back in 2018. Reporting from Greenwood, Indiana, Johnette Cruz, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Sports on WIBC, brought to you by Ball State Athletics. Visit ballstatesports.com. What a game in downtown Indianapolis last night.
From my perspective and our perspective, nothing but respect for the Bucks.
Indiana head coach Rick Carlisle talking about closing out the Milwaukee Bucks in a tough overtime win to end the first-round playoff series.
My hat's off to our guys for hanging in. Our crowd was tremendous.
Final score 119-118.
You know what happened in the overtime? We were down 7 with 40 seconds. Nemhard hits the 3. We get a steal. Ty gets an and 1, and then we got fortunate. You know, they had a mishandle, and we got the ball, and Ty made the play to win the game.
And here's the aforementioned Tyrese Halliburton.
Missed like 2 or 3 threes in a row. I got a little down about it, but my teammates encouraged me to stay with it. They said we would get a chance to win it at the end, and they would rely on me to do that.
And the Pacers move on to play the Cleveland Cavaliers in the second round, game 1 on Sunday. After the game, Tyrese's father, John, got into a shoving match with Bucks star Giannis Antetokounmpo and apologized on X after the game. Same building, different team. The Indiana Fever continue their training camp on Tuesday. Here's Fever rookie Michaela Timpson.
I mean, it's incredible. The vets are incredible. My other teammates are incredible. The staff, everybody is so welcoming and genuine, and I'm just blessed to be here overall.
And the Fever tip off their preseason this weekend against the Washington Mystics. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com at 7:35. Traffic on the 5s. What are you watching for us this morning, Matt Bear?
Brian, we have camera up at Harding Street at 70 right now, where we have a breakdown at the end of the ramp. It's eastbound 72 Harding Street. It's open, just a tricky exit right now. Please be safe. Northbound 465 and northwest side stop and go traffic from 86th Street up to 865. Inbound 69 dragging from 116th Street past 96. East side northbound 465 slow from 70 up to Penn Pike in a crash. East 10th Street at Pleasant Run Parkway South Drive. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. 20% chance of showers this afternoon and also a chance of showers and thunderstorms this evening. A high of 72. Right now it is 50 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors. For 1951 cabinetry, visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or DrexelIN.com.
Mother's Day is almost here. Sundown Gardens is fully stocked with high-quality annuals, trees, shrubs, decor, and more. 186th Street and Spring Mill Road, sundown.gardens.com.
Whenever I'm out of wandering, chasing a rainbow
Tony Katz,
dream.
Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. It's time for Today on the Marketplace, which is brought to us by Indiana Unclaimed. You can get sweet, sweet cash by going to Indiana Unclaimed and figuring out that you, like everybody, like me, someone who hasn't lived in Indiana for years, have some money out there that you have not claimed that they want to give you, which is awesome. All right. There were a lot of options on the Marketplace, but I couldn't get over the laziness of a specific post. Someone is selling 2 pickles for $20 each. That is right. They're 2 pickles. It looks like they kind of squished some sort of stamp into nice. Some sort of stamp into them to look like there's sort of a face on the pickle. This is because of a cartoon show, Rick and Morty, where a character is a pickle. But it doesn't really look like an actual toy. It's a pickle with a semblance of a stamp that sort of kind of looks like something that is on the cartoon show. They have 2 of them, by the way, $20 each. You can pick your favorite. What I hate about this is I love when people sell food that looks like something and it was an accident. It's not something you manufactured, but like I have a potato and I swear it looks like something important in the world. This is not that. This is someone cheating the system and pretending they have a Rick and Morty pickle.
Okay, so this is a real pickle. It looks like a wooden pickle, kind of. At your, what's your Twitter that I can find the marketplace item here? It's Radio.
Radio Craig C is my one. I thought it was a real pickle. There's two of them. There's two options. I'm assuming it's real pickle.
Oh, this is real. Yeah. This is okay.
Because they got it on the cutting board. It looks like they just did the stamp thing. So, very annoyed by the laziness of this. And also the fact that they're saying it's for Mother's Day. Mom doesn't want it.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. Here's a pickle. It kind of has a face on it from a cartoon you've never heard of, Ba.
What is the Rick and Morty reference here? What's going on? What's
there's
animation.
There's a TV show and there's a Pickle Rick character on the show. Probably doesn't deserve being explained. Pickle Rick. He's a version of
Is this like Ren and Stimpy, one of those shows, or a South Park type of? Okay, so maybe a Pickle Rick has a euphemistic.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, it doesn't have that. All right.
Not that I'm aware of, or although maybe, depending on the episode of the show, it might. He also grows arms and legs at one point, walks around.
Okay,
yeah,
right, this is
that's
fantastic.
a thing.
Yeah, this is
I'm not a
great.
fan of the show, by the way. I just Googled it all to understand this better. By the way, not that it's connected to the marketplace, but do you know what Mom actually wants for Mother's Day, according to a recent survey?
No. What does Mom want?
A nap. That's all Mom. These are always sad when I read what Ma wants for Mother's Day because it's always like incredibly achievable. 94% of moms said the number one thing they'd like is a nap. That's terrible. We can do better than a nap for Mom, right?
I mean, we can. I mean, now, is this a mother? This is a mother who's mothering through the first 18 years, right? This isn't a
I would imagine.
mom. That,
I don't know, though.
Even after that.
If she's retired, I mean, you can go get your nap anytime you want. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
That's an interesting question. Yeah, my mom has not had any children in her house for several years. I wonder if she wants to text me and let me know if she'd like a nap for Mother's Day. But I do feel like this is incredibly achievable, as I said. And again, always when you do a Mother's Day survey, moms never say what they actually want. Like no one says luxury item. Buy me something fancy, make it expensive. That's a mom move for sure. But no one buy them a Pickle Rick. Either this one or any other one. That is a mistake you should not make.
So if I don't live with Mom anymore, what's an appropriate Mother's Day present for Mom? What should I get her? I mean, what would be something where I could feel like at the end of Mother's Day, I did my job as a son, man. I did the right thing.
I hate this answer, but I'm not very close proximity-wise to my mother. Like, I live quite far away from her, so a gift card is usually my move, and a gift card to a place I know she goes, and then she can pick out the item herself. It doesn't show the love of a son, but it does allow them to get something that they actually want, which is, I think, more important. Usually moms say they want handmade gifts and stuff as, like, the real thing. Nobody wants a handmade gift from me.
Here's some soap I made for you, Mom. I'm giving you a hint, too. Come on now.
And it looks like Pickle Rick.
Yeah,
Yay.
It looks like Pickle Rick.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, here's
That's
a gift card to Dick's Sporting Goods. If you don't use
there you go.
just let me know. Here's one to the PS Store. I know you don't play video games, but if you happen to give it to me, I'll use it for you in your name and your honor. Get Mom a nice card, write her out a nice note, and that kind of qualifies as, doing the handmade thing. It's a handmade note. Nobody writes handmade notes. Our standards are so low, you can get away with that now. So you're good. Yeah.
Okay, how long would the handmade note be, Matt? What are you talking about?
If you're scribbling from your heart, it doesn't take long. Ma, I love you. You're an awesome Ma. You're terrific. Everything's great. And, go get your nap so you're not as... No, you just be nice and be from the heart. It won't take long. Buy the card. Write out the address. Okay. I know this is crazy stuff here. And then just send it to Ma. She'd love it.
Just send that to Mom.
All you need to do. All you need
and
to do.
And do not at the end sign it, can I have $50 for the gift card I bought?
Well,
Please do not do that part.
Leave that up to her. She'll make the right... she'll choose the right thing there. And give her a call. You call Mom Mother's Day. You're good.
I think a call is important, right? Not just a text, but a phone call.
Oh, yeah. Don't do it. I hate it when people text important things. I'm like,
yes.
If it's a holiday, if you're trying to say something to somebody like Happy Mother, you gotta call. Yeah. If you're breaking up with a woman, you gotta call. You just can't be doing it with text messages anymore. You know?
I got you. This all makes sense to me. Matt, what do you usually get Mom for Mother's Day, by the way? What do you usually get?
The first 18 years of my life, she's already gotten a gift. Ma and I have a really good relationship. I will call her on Mother's Day, and we'll have a nice chat, and then she'll say, honey, I just don't have anything to tell you right now. And I'll say, neither do I, Ma. And then we'll go on with our lives, and that's fantastic.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Your mom doesn't have anything to tell you?
Not often. It's
Really?
it's a
That's
dynamic.
not a call from a mom.
No. I mean, we talk for 5 minutes, but I mean, Ma's retired and she's doing her thing, and I'm really busy, and I don't want to go into all the intricacies of my lifestyle because that would just make her worry. So we just kind of chill. She hears my voice, she hears I'm doing well, and then we're able to move on to the next thing. But it's just the act of trying to do it, just trying to be there and say, hey, I care about you. I know it's your day, and I'm calling you up right now. It's the act, man. I think that covers it.
I'm amazed, though, that there's no gossip from Mama Bear. I'm amazed there's nothing, like not a neighbor doing something, like something she can tell you about going on.
My folks don't know their neighbors, I don't think. They've been down there for several. Well, I mean, they retired, and I know that they're not the only people. A lot of people listening could have this with their folks, too. We're all Xers. But they retired. They moved to Florida, and then the hurricanes, and then COVID, and then a hurricane. And it just hasn't, I mean, for the area they're in, it just hasn't worked out for them. So there's not a lot for them to do as far as friends and social activities. That's what they tell me. You know how it is with our folks as we get older. There are things that we love, things that frustrate us, and things that frustrate us.
Sure.
It's all good because I've done the same to them through the 18 years of my life.
Yes.
It's a give and take. But, just making the effort, man. Just saying, I love you, Ma.
By the way, my mother is listening, as she usually does. She says she does not want a pickle with a face on it for Mother's Day. So
this is a grand champion pickle. This would win at the 4-H fair. I'm telling you. It's awesome.
How dare you?
For old time's sake, you should send her Easter eggs.
Yeah, I should. You're right. I should. I love how you keep bringing that joke up. Mom's going to tell me it's not true.
There you go. Happy Mother's Day. Here are the rotten Easter eggs from the...
Here's what she said she wants, though, a visit, which for me would cause me to have to get on a plane and fly several states. But all right, Mom, maybe we'll figure that out. That's a request, not just a gift card. Matt, how does traffic look?
Pretty good, Craig. We are looking at some slowdowns here big time. It's inbound 69, 8-minute delay from 116th Street, 2465. On the south side, crash eastbound 465, shy of I-69. It blocks 2 right lanes, stopping traffic back to Man Road. Southbound 31 slows as you peel off to 465. Northbound 465, northwest side stop and go traffic 86 to 865. And westbound 70 from the east side to downtown slows from Arlington Avenue to Emerson Avenue. It's a crash east 10th at Pleasant Run. Traffic sponsored by Lear Capital. Our financial system is cracking under pressure. Your retirement is at risk. Take control now. Lear Capital is offering a free Sky High Silver Report and Precious Metals IRA guide at betternesting.com. Don't leave your future to chance. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. 20% chance of showers this afternoon, and then chance of showers and thunderstorms as well early this evening. Right now, it is 50. The high today is 72. That temperature is brought to you by the American Standard Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
Take a walk out to the farm, the tree farm. We're talking about Circle City Trees in Zionsville, where you have an absolutely incredible selection of trees that are going to go beautifully in your backyard or side yard or front yard. It really depends on your need. They've got evergreens, shade trees, fruit trees, ornamental trees, flowering trees, and the pricing is all on the website, circlecitytrees.com, and that includes the installation and the warranty. You might need shade on your back deck or patio. You may want to have some separation from that nosy neighbor, or maybe you're just looking for something to create a little beauty, a little enjoyment in your back. They are the people to call, and they're so easy to work with. You head over there to Zionsville and check them out for yourself, because every tree's got a personality. You got to find the one that's right for you. Circle City Trees in Zionsville. Trees that thrive right here in Indiana. Call 317-768-3005. 317-768-3005. Circle City Trees, 768-3005, or online at circlecitytrees.com.
Oh, man, I think it'd be super cool to go to Symphony on the Prairie and check out Tusk, which is the Fleetwood Mac tribute band. And if you're a AAA member, you get big savings on those summer night concerts. 20% off tickets to any show. AAA, saving you money on outdoor music and vacations.
Going to Symphony on the Prairie? Always fun. Same with going on vacation. And AAA members, you save when you have a AAA membership. You get vacation discounts, hotels, rental cars, and even complimentary travel planning. Plus, if you run into trouble out on the road, AAA has you covered. Flat tire, dead battery, lock your keys in the car, whatever. AAA is there 24/7, 365, no matter where your travels take you. So do yourself a favor. Join AAA today or buy somebody you love a membership. Visit AAA.com or give them a call at 844-GO. AAA Go, or stop by any AAA office.
Yeah, we can't predict the markets. We sure can't trust the markets. So where do we put our trust when it comes to our retirement? That's the fiduciary advisors at Trajan Wealth with Indiana values and veteran-led. Matt Bear here. What's up? Trajan Wealth advises through Hoosier values like smart money management and loyalty to the customer. Call today and schedule your first appointment and get to know the team. 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Trajan is a fiduciary, meaning they have to act in your best interest. Their advisor get to know you, work with you as a team in optimizing your investments. They're always monitoring the markets, meaning you can sleep well at night knowing your retirement is in good hands. Call and schedule a consultation at 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Remember, your first appointment is on them. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, and SEC registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
Technology Recyclers is the safe and ethical choice for your computer and electronics recycling. R2 certified, 100% landfill free, guaranteed destruction of data, and absolutely free pickups. Visit tech-recyclers.com.
The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
Addiction doesn't just affect one person, it touches everyone around them. That's why Matt Bear and Ryan Hedrick created the Supporting Sobriety podcast. It's for the friends and family standing behind, offering hope, guidance, and real talk. Listen now wherever you get your podcasts.
Tony Katz, the morning news, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins filling in. You got Matt, you got Carl hanging out as they do every single morning on this show. 63-year-old man was wandering around naked in Florida. I guess he was trying to break into people's houses. Police are calling him the birthday suit bandit. This is the audio of police pulling up to a dude walking around on the street naked and asking him, hey, what's going on?
What's going on, bro?
I just came over to talk to you.
You're walking around the street naked.
I know.
Yeah, I know. I know I'm doing that. What's wrong with that? I love that the guy said what he was doing was just coming over to talk to the cops. He saw them in his neighborhood, pulling up in front of him. That's probably because he's walking around naked. And he's like, hey, I just want to chat. You are here. I'm here. Let's have a conversation.
He might have been turning in a tip of some sorts, you know. It might have been giving helping the police officers out. I mean, maybe he just wanted just a good citizen of his neighborhood and loves it.
Right.
I mean, it's we were
you
born
see the
new.
cops, and if you have some information for them, you don't wait to put on clothes. You go outside to tell them.
The truth will set you free. I mean, that's pretty much it. You go full frontal and you say to the police officer, hey, I've got a case. I got a jacket for you,
Right.
And you send them on their way. Be like, yeah, that's the house. And you point.
That is true. By the way, if you feel like they're not going to listen and you have a tip for them, I guess showing up naked to their cruiser will make them pay attention. Like, that is something they won't be able to look away from you as they're arresting you.
Oh, they're going to listen, all right. Yeah.
Did I hear you right? This is a Florida man?
Yes, this is a Florida guy.
What a surprise.
You're right. In Florida, doing his Florida thing, the birthday suit bandit. He was actually trying to rob houses, is what they eventually accused him of. So
he probably needed clothes, so he was robbing the house.
You know, my mind goes to the strangest places. I don't know why, but can you, like, say you were actually doing something, they had to put you on the ground and handcuff your hands behind your back?
Yeah.
I mean, that's 2 for 1. Not only are you getting close, but it's man. That's a bad yoga pose right there. Hands behind your back, and you're kind of doing the airplane thing. I mean, that's.
I've been claiming for years that I think people get naked while committing crimes in the hopes that people won't arrest them for the reasons you're pointing out. I feel like they think it's a shield from being arrested. If I'm naked, they'll leave me alone, and that is not the case. Cops, unfortunately, have to deal with naked people more often than they should. But I've never understood why people get naked and commit crime. I think that's why. Hoping that I'm not going to get arrested because it's icky to get too close to me.
Where are you going to find the key to? Where are you going to hide the key to the handcuffs? That's what I want to know. You know, it's going to be something.
So many questions. No time for answers, thankfully. It's time for traffic. Matt, what do you got for us?
10-minute delay inbound 69 116th Street 2465. Crash east side is 10th at Pleasant Run Parkway South Drive, and we look at northbound 465 on the northwest side. Slow roll from 86th Street up to 865. Crash south side eastbound 465 and I-69. 2 left lanes are closed and traffic is jammed back to Kentucky Avenue. We do have a delay right now on that crash running at 8 minutes. Also looking at northbound 65 coming up from the south side. That's stop and go traffic from 465 up to Raymond Street. Inbound 70 loaded at Shadeland Avenue. Then we start to get free right around Arlington. Drags a bit to Rural Street as you make your way into the North Split, Indiana 2nd. Most traveled interchange. Traffic sponsored by True Green. True Green, get a golf course quality lawn for less than you think. Sign up at truegreen.com. That's TRUgreen.com. True Green, the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Your future holds so much potential. The question is, are you planting the right seeds today to make it flourish? At Howard Bailey Financial, we strive to help you create a retirement plan that can adapt to your evolving needs, offering guidance to bring you clarity, confidence, and purpose along the way. Whether you're just beginning or refining your financial strategy, we're here to support you. Let's grow something lasting together. Text GROW to 888-262-1104 to start planning for your future full of possibility. That's GROW to 888-262-1104. Take the first step today. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and nearly 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. Left untreated, these veins can cause tired, heavy legs, swelling, burning, cramping, aching, even restless leg syndrome. In some cases, it can lead to serious health risks like blood clots. USA Vein Clinics offers minimally invasive treatments that take as little as 15 minutes, covered by most insurances. Call 317-516-6861 and schedule your appointment today. Don't wait. 317-516-6861 for free information today. Imagine walking, exercising, and sleeping peacefully again. Varicose and spider veins won't go away on their own. USA Vein Clinics can help. Call 317-516-6861 for fast, easy, affordable solutions. USA Vein Clinics treatments are covered by most insurance plans. Don't put this off any longer. Call 317-516-6861.
Sometimes an identity threat is a ring of professional hackers. And sometimes it's an overworked accountant who forgot to encrypt their connection while sending bank details.
I need a coffee.
And you need LifeLock because your info is in endless places. It only takes one mistake to expose you to identity theft. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Americans love using their credit cards, the most secure and hassle-free way to pay. But D.C. politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Corporate megastores will make more money, and you pay the price. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
Spring has sprung and Indiana's floodgates have opened, meaning everything is growing, including your roots. Underground root growth knows no bounds and can wreak havoc on your sewer system, causing potential damage to your home. My friends at Hope Plumbing want to help you stay ahead of the rain by offering $300 off any sewer repair or replacement. This offer excludes drain cleanings. Call Hope Plumbing at 641-HOPE or visit them online at hopeplumbing.com and stay dry this spring.
Hi, this is Chris Cox, owner of Chimney Solutions, Indiana. We're celebrating our 10th year in business. Call this month to take advantage of 10% off all chimney sweeps and inspections. We're also celebrating the opening of our new fireplace showroom on 86th Street and Lafayette Road. Come and experience our exclusive lines of wood-burning and gas fireplaces.
Call 317-757-6979 or chimneyindy.com.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recyclers Studios, it was the shot that put the Indiana Pacers in the next round of the playoffs. Why a player's father almost came to blows with the former NBA champion, and why your attorney general says the system is actually working against him. After Fox News, you're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1, Indianapolis on a Wednesday morning. It's 8 o'clock.
He'll meet with his cabinet. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The morning after President Trump held a rally in Michigan to mark a milestone.
The most successful first 100 days of any administration in the history of our country.
Saying it's common sense to get rid of DEI programs, change transgender policies, cut waste in government, and secure the border.
The number of illegal border crossers released into the United States is down. Listen to this, please. 99.999%.
And the president also talked up his trade policies.
You finally have a champion for workers in the White House, and instead of putting China first, I'm putting Michigan first, and I'm putting America first.
Saying he'll bring more auto manufacturing back to Detroit. But he is also easing tariffs on U.S. automakers amid worries about car prices going up. Fox's Doug Luzader reports.
We are getting pretty close on trade deals with India, Japan, South Korea. In addition to the cabinet meeting this morning, the president will meet with a number of business leaders at the White House today to announce new investments in the economy.
Democrats keep focusing on low Trump job approval poll numbers, denouncing the president's second term in speeches all night in the Senate.
It's chaos. One fiasco after another.
Minority Leader Chuck Schumer. Here's Senator Chris Coons.
The last 100 days, President Trump has made Americans less safe, less prosperous, and less free.
This could be a big deal. What the Supreme Court will consider this morning.
An Oklahoma-based case that could allow for the nation's first religious charter school. That measure could also greatly expand taxpayer funding for religious education. Justices will weigh if St. Isidore of Seville Catholic Virtual School, which is privately run but publicly funded, can offer a religious education.
Fox's Todd Pyro. Wisconsin Supreme Court has suspended Judge Hannah Dugan, a Milwaukee judge who was arrested last week, accused of trying to thwart the arrest of an illegal immigrant in the courthouse. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
A deficit, a comeback, and then sheer joy. There's nothing on radar in downtown Indianapolis where it's 53 degrees. Your high today is 77. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 8:02. The Indiana Pacers were catapulted to a playoff series win Tuesday night over the Milwaukee Bucks.
And they got contributions from everyone. I'm John Herrick. All 5 of their starters and one of their bench players scored in double figures, but Pacer guard Tyrese Halliburton had 14 of the Pacers' final 22 points in the fourth quarter and overtime, including the game-winning layup. Halliburton says his coaching staff has often compared him to another Pacer great, Reggie Miller.
I was trying to
create moments of my own that we can talk about one day. But anytime I'm mentioned in the same breath as that guy, it's an honor because I have a lot of love and respect and a great relationship with Reggie.
The Pacers advance to the Eastern Conference semifinals to play Cleveland next. Reporting from Gainbridge Fieldhouse, John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
After the game,
I had no idea it happened until I got to the back and was showed the video.
What is Tyrese Halliburton talking about? Well, just seconds removed from leading his team to the next round, he saw a commotion on the court, and he soon realized that his dad was in a heated exchange with Milwaukee Bucks star Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Me and my pops have talked about that, and I don't agree with what transpired there from him. I think basketball is basketball, and let's keep it on the court. And I think that he just got excited, saw his son make a game winner, and came on the court.
And his father apologized for his actions. It may serve as a distraction in his office, but Indiana's Attorney General is not ready to give up the fight against a complaint made against him. Here's Chris Davis.
Indiana Attorney General Todd Rokita is digging in. He's fighting the state's Judicial Disciplinary Commission over their decision not to dismiss an ethics complaint against him for comments he made in 2023 on Fox News.
We got here from a commission that meets in secret, isn't elected by anybody. I've said it before. I did nothing. I didn't lie to anybody. We'll prove the case if we have to.
He tells WIBC's Hammer and Nigel he believes the commission is posturing and he won't capitulate. Chris Davis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Helping Hoosier kids read is the goal of Indiana First Lady Maureen Braun. On Tuesday, she announced what she calls a fundraising initiative to expand and sustain Dolly Parton's Imagination Library across the state.
Reading opens up a world of imagination for kids. Having books in the home helps children do better in school and will benefit them throughout their lives.
And she says she'll be collaborating with philanthropic organizations and state leaders to secure the necessary money to raise awareness for the Imagination Library's ongoing expansion. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. Nat 705, traffic on the fives. Good morning, Matt Bear.
What's happening, Ryan? South side crash eastbound 465 and I-69. 2 left lanes are blocked. And traffic is jammed back to Kentucky Avenue. Delay time is 37 minutes right now. That's what I have. Northbound 65 south side slow from Keystone Avenue up to the South Split. Crash on the east side 10th. At East Pleasant Run Parkway South Drive. And north side, northbound 465, slow a little bit. 86th Street up to 865. Inbound 69 is stop and go. 116th Street down to 82nd. Inbound 70, stop and go traffic. Shadeland Avenue to Arlington. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the fives. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Wish TV meteorologist Marcus Bailey. Good morning. How does our weather look?
Hey, Craig, good morning. It is a crisp but bright start here this morning. Should see plenty of sunshine leading up into the early afternoon. May see some spotty showers, maybe a few thunderstorms later this afternoon, but certainly not as widespread as yesterday. Today's high 73. Spotty showers and thunderstorms possible overnight, otherwise mostly cloudy, not as cold. A low down to 62. Thursday, mostly cloudy. Scattered showers possible at any part of the day, but I don't think the day is a complete washout. Late for your Thursday, could have some stronger thunderstorms developing. Gusty winds will be the primary concern. Thursday's high 65. Some leftover showers Friday morning, otherwise mostly cloudy and cooler with highs into the upper 60s.
Thank you very much, Marcus. 8:07 Wednesday morning.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Sundown Gardens, Hamilton County Spring Nursery Headquarters.
Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. Thrilled to be with you. Lots of stuff out there to talk about. There was a very interesting interview that took place between ABC and President Trump. I'm going to get to some of that audio in just a second. But first, I want to cover something else. Exports from China to the United States have plummeted. This is obviously expected with all the tariffs and the trade war going on. But here's the part that people aren't talking about enough. The pain actually has to happen in China for us to gain the upper hand that President Trump believes we have. This is the pain, and the pain might also be felt here if we can't restock our shelves with things that are mostly created in China. But any of that, waiting for an actual impact time that had to transpire is now over. And China is going to actually see, the companies there, what it's like when the U.S. buys a whole lot less stuff from you and how much they depend on our economy to buy things from them. So this is really important and a really big deal. U.S. import duties on Chinese products stand at 145%. China, meanwhile, hit back at us, 125% tariffs on U.S. products. The problem with their tariff on us is how little they buy from us comparatively and how much we buy from them. That's why their economy is going to, go even more in the tank in the next few months if they don't fix stuff. So what I think is really interesting about the back and forth between President Trump and China and all of the trade war discussions, and anybody who says that his attempt to get China to, play ball or play along or do any of the things he wants have not worked, there wasn't enough time yet. But this is now the moment, and there will continue to be more moments if this goes any further where the actual pain will start. All right, let's play some of the audio from the conversation that Trump had with Terry Moran. This is almost brutal, part of it, where he says, I've never heard of you before. And that's part of the reason why when ABC asked me for an interview, I'm like, all right, let's go with this Terry dude. But there was a back and forth about the photo of the tattoos on Kilmar Abrego Garcia's hand. The tattoos symbolically spell out MS-13. There's a marijuana, a smile, et cetera, et cetera. So that's been the claim by conservatives and by Republicans for quite some time, is that the guy has knuckle tattoos and hung out with a bunch of people who are MS-13. And, also the courts multiple times found that he was probably MS-13 himself. That happened more than once. And the whole reason we were protecting him, you've probably heard all this before, is because the rival gang of MS-13 was likely to hurt him if he went back to his home country. All of that, to most logical people, seems to indicate that he was, in fact, part of a gang. But to ABC News, how dare you, sir? How dare you say that, was the back and forth.
And then they looked, and on his knuckles, he had MS-13.
There's a dispute.
Wait a minute. He had MS-13 on his knuckles tattoo.
He had some tattoos that are interpreted that way. But let's move on.
Wait a minute. Hey, Terry.
He did not have the letter MS-13.
It says MS-13.
That was Photoshopped. So let me
That was Photoshopped. Terry, you can't do that. Hey, they're giving you the big break of a lifetime. You're doing the interview. I picked you because, frankly, I never heard of you, but that's okay. I picked you, Terry. You're not being very nice. He had MS-13 tattooed.
We'll agree to disagree. I want to move on to something else.
Terry, do you want me to show you the picture?
I saw the picture.
And you think it was Photoshop? Well,
here we go.
Don't Photoshop it. Go look at his hand. He had MS-13.
He did have tattoos that can be interpreted that way. I'm not an expert on them. I want to turn to Ukraine, sir.
Terry,
I want to get to Ukraine.
Terry.
No. He had MS, as clear as you can be, not interpreted. This is why people no longer believe the news, because
when
it's
he was
fake
photographed
news.
in El Salvador, they aren't there. But let's just go on. They aren't there when he's in El Salvador.
They weren't there, but they're there
The
now.
tattoos are still there, by the way. That's insane. The confusion, I guess, to some, was when President Trump and the White House put up a photo where they wrote above the tattoos how you interpret them as MS-13. So there was an M, an S, a 1, and a 3. Those weren't actually on his hand, and no one from the Trump administration was claiming that at the time, which is insane to say. But it's very obvious that if you have a marijuana plant and then a smiley face and then other tattoos that seem to have hidden the 1 and the 3, that you are, in fact, trying to make a statement about who you are. And that's just one bit of a tremendous amount of proof. And it seems that news continues to refuse to learn its lesson. And I'll tell you what the lesson is. It's not just blatantly lying to us. They're doing that part on purpose. So that's not new. They're never going to learn that lesson. But it's the fact that Trump has enough people that pay attention to him, that enough individuals in America now understand how often they're lied to. That is absolutely something that President Trump gets credit for, pushing and talking about, and eventually demonstrating again and again, even to the Americans that don't like him. Stuff like the Hunter Biden laptop is a great example of that. MS-13 on this guy's hand feels like the latest version, but this was a minute-and-a-half fight with President Trump not giving up and telling Terry Moran multiple times, come on, man. You got to at least be honest if you want to claim to be news and not be biased and, make stuff up. All right, quick break, a lot more. Craig Collins filling in. Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC.
Turning 65, new to Medicare, or just moved? If you qualify for Medicare and Medicaid, a Humana Dual Eligible Special Needs Plan, a D-SNP, may give you the extra benefits you're looking for. A D-SNP helps cover things like prescriptions and checkups, but it also helps pay for essentials, too. With a Humana D-SNP, you get $225 a month for eligible groceries, rent, utilities, and more. Plus, whatever you don't spend carries over to the next month. You may even get benefits like $0 copays on routine prescriptions, plus routine dental, vision, or hearing coverage. All of this could make a difference for your health and wallet. Learn more at GetHumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a coordinated care HMO SNP plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the Indiana Medicaid program. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal. Allowance amounts cannot be combined with other benefit allowances. Limitations and restrictions may apply.
Promises made, promises kept. Governor Mike Braun's bold leadership is already getting things done for Hoosiers. Governor Braun and State House Republicans are delivering massive property tax cuts. We're talking nearly $1.5 billion in relief. That's real money back in homeowners' pockets. But Braun didn't stop there. He cut local income tax capacity by nearly $2 billion and capped the local income tax rate to protect Hoosiers. And Braun led the fight to reform local government taxes, giving Hoosiers more say by requiring referendums be held in high-turnout elections. Thanks to Governor Braun and State House Republicans, your property taxes will be lower, future increases are reined in, and the system is now more transparent. Visit HoosierHope.org and let Governor Braun and Republican legislators know you support historic property tax cuts. Paid for by HoosierHope.org.
Matt Bear, how do our roads look?
All right, Craig, we're up in Carmel now, and we have a bad crash on southbound 31. It's at 111th Street, just shy of that. And currently, it looks like all lanes are blocked. Checking it out on the camera here, and we're getting by. Well, we were getting by on the right shoulder. That is no more. So southbound 31 now closed at the 106th Street exit because of a crash. This is now a closure. All lanes blocked as traffic is stopped. Back to 116th Street. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. 20% chance of showers today, as well as chances of thunderstorms and showers into the evening tonight, but 20% chance after 2 o'clock today. 52 right now, 72 the high. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
Hi, this is Malia with Family Heating and Air, and as a mom myself, I know it's really important to keep the kiddos healthy. Air quality, humidity, those are super big issues on my concern list. If you share any of these concerns, give Family a call, 317-577-8077.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
You've set your financial goals. One kid plans to go Big Ten, the other Ivy. Your bucket list includes seaside sunrises and sunsets on the slopes, or perhaps a second home away from it all. Busey Bank can help develop the right investment strategy to take charge of the years ahead. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
Sometimes an identity threat is a ring of professional hackers. And sometimes it's an overworked accountant who forgot to encrypt their connection while sending bank details.
I need a coffee.
And you need LifeLock because your info is in endless places. It only takes one mistake to expose you to identity theft. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Show Mom just how much you love and respect her with fresh flowers from Gillespie Florists. Mom will smile for all to see when she receives your beautiful and fragrant bouquet from Gillespie Florists. Hundreds of styles to choose from, or let the mom pleasers at Gillespie help you decide. Easily make this Mother's Day memorable. Click on GillespieFlorist.com right now to place your order. Visit Gillespie Florists at 10th and Raceway, online at GillespieFlorist.com, or call 273-1100. Gillespie Florists, for all the flowers in your life.
Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. You got Matt, you got Carl. They hang out every morning on this show. What does heavy emoji use mean about us as people? Someone in the world of science decided to try to study this and research it. If you're a dude and you use a lot of emojis, according to the internet and some scientists, you are manipulative, and you're also an emotional roller coaster of a human. That is just dudes specifically. Lots of emojis mean you manipulate others, and you also have no control over your emotions. Do we feel like this is true or not?
I mean, absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
It's definitely. Perfect. I mean, if you use too many emojis, you're an emotional wreck. That's
right.
It's given science. Anybody taking a basic psychology class will know that, Craig. I mean, come
yeah,
on.
of course. Yeah, I think it's in the psychological assessment book of all the different illnesses that you have, the DSM. The other one out there, this is for women. If you use a lot of emojis and you're a lady, you are fake. You desire to, control your self-image way too much, and you also care about others, how others perceive you too much. And finally, you want to come off as agreeable, but you're gossiping behind people's back. That is an emoji-laden lady out there in the world. What do we think of that one?
Aren't emojis just supposed to be used to transmit emotion? That's why they were made. Because I started using emojis probably too much. And I guess as a guy, you're not supposed to use emojis a lot.
You manipulative jerk.
Yeah, I'm a manipulative jerk, and I'm a sociopath, not to mention a narcissist. But I use emojis because I tend to have a very dry sense of humor. And I'm really dry in the way I talk, and a lot of times I'm irreverent. So I put the emoji in there to be like, hey, I'm laughing, or oh, I'm sad right now. I'm not being trying to be funny here. I'm just really sad. So I use the emojis, but I hear two things. One, that you're saying that I'm a psychopath and should be institutionalized, and that I'm not. Yeah, I'm not very manly. I've also heard that because I use emojis. So I don't know what the hell to do. I guess just confuse people when I text them.
I have to be honest. I don't use a lot of emojis the way you said you do, but I do send emojis in texts. And the reason why, and some of my friends know this, is I think there's a lot of emojis that never get used. So I send ones that make no sense at the end of text.
Awesome.
Because I'm pretty sure there's so many emojis, so few get used. So you may get a text from me that has like a bear in it for an emoji, although it would make sense for you, Matt Bear. And I just don't think enough people are using that one. Or any of the other ones out there.
How about the pregnant man?
The pregnant man.
Does that exist? Fantastic.
It does.
Okay. That's all I'm using from now on.
Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. In real life, it does not exist, Matt. On
no,
emoji
it does.
Text, it does exist.
Wait, hold on. Happy Mother's Day.
They have a pregnant man.
Yeah, I'm putting the emoji of the pregnant man after my Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Right.
I also think that's like Thanksgiving dinner guy. If I was going to go another road, but that's not what they intended it to be. But that's how I feel. Other things out there. This is obviously going to upset all three of us. I know we all plan to climb Mount Everest at some point. They're going to change the rules. Apparently, a new draft of a law there in Nepal says that in order for you to climb Mount Everest, you have to prove that you've climbed one of the other 23,000-foot peak mountains that exist in the Himalayan nation. If you don't do that, not allowed to try to climb Everest. This is because a lot of people with no climbing experience attempt to climb one of the tallest mountains in the world and don't do a good job. But obviously, this upsets all three of us because we were planning on a guy's trip to go do it.
So this is like a qualifying round. As
apparently,
you go maybe like say just locally, say I go climb Mount Comfort here in Hancock County. Will that get me? Will that qualify me? Yeah, it's Mount Comfort. There's a road.
It does not.
It's not just a hill. They named a road after it, Carl. I mean, if I make it up Mount Comfort, will I then be allowed to climb Mount Everest? That's what I want to know.
Sorry, the answer is no. To that one.
Dude.
Not on the list. Yeah.
They built a roundabout there.
You have to cross a street?
I don't know. I mean,
Okay.
I'm only going out there
Sounds
to climb
difficult.
the hill, to be honest.
Yeah,
And they have
tough.
a nice RV place, too, I hear.
You know,
I think it's a good idea because it
Sure.
kills people. Mount Everest kills people. And so let's have some, maybe a little bit of restraint. I'm a human being. I can do whatever I want. I guess it's my life, yada, yada, yada. But, somebody has to go and clean this up and be responsible for it. So, this is a good idea.
To be honest, if we're talking about it like in a serious way, sure, it seems like a good idea. But in a silly way, I like when stuff happens that gives me an excuse not to do something. And now I don't have to climb Mount Everest because I don't plan on climbing one of the other mountains.
Boy, I love it when people fall out of a plane. That tells me not to skydive.
Yeah, right. Well, now I've skydived before. I'm fine. I still do that. I don't know if I've told you guys this. I know we're up on a break. The first time I went skydiving, the dude pitched to me that for $2,000, I could become a licensed skydiver. And I looked at my little brother who was skydiving with me, and I'm like, I want to do this for some reason. I didn't do it, but like the upsell of you're going to save a lot of money on your skydiving license if you buy it now during your first jump was like, I don't know why people don't do that. It sounds like a $4,000 value at $2,000 price. I should jump in.
Did you go tandem?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. No, the reason I asked that is because I picture you falling out of the plane with your instructor strapped to your back, and he's like, "Yeah, for $2,000, you can actually be on the back of this jump.
Whatever you want." Yeah. You could have actually trained to jump by yourself the very first time. I didn't do that part.
Oh, right.
And I regret it.
It's a zip line, man. That's fun. Yeah, you can do zip line.
There you go. I've never done that. Never did that.
Cool.
I've jumped out of a plane, though. I'd like to do that again someday. All right, we probably should do traffic.
Sure.
Matt, you got some traffic for us?
Big time, Craig. As a matter of fact, we are checking around US 31 in Carmel right now. And this is a crash and closure. Southbound 31 closed at 106th Street because of a serious crash. Traffic is stopped to 111th Street to avoid the closure. Exit at 116th. But again, southbound 31 shut down at 106th Street because of a crash. Looking at eastbound 465, stop and go traffic 865 over to Ditch Road, and northbound 65 slows from Keystone Avenue up to Raymond. South side eastbound 465 crash at I-69 blocking the left lane, stopping traffic back to Kentucky Avenue. That's a delay time of 38 minutes, by the way. Stay out of it. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Hey, this is Rob.
And this is Casey.
State Treasurer Daniel Elliott will be with us to talk about how our audience helped get the taxpayers in the state a giant win.
Join us Wednesday, 9 until noon on 93 WIBC.
Let's give away one more set of tickets to a IndyCar race, the first IndyCar race of the season. 2 tickets will go to our 5th caller right now at our contest line, 317-239-9393, 317-239-9393. Go to the first Grand Prix of the year. It's on May 10th. Gates open at 9 o'clock. You get 2 tickets if you're the 5th caller to 317-239-9393. IndyCar's a lot of fun. Go enjoy some time at the Brickyard.
Beck Toyota has been sold to the Hubler Automotive Group. But before the Hubler name comes, everything goes. And when Hubler says everything goes, we mean it. Every pre-owned Corolla, Camry, RAV4, Highlander, Tacoma, Tundra, every car, every truck, everything in the showroom, everything on the lot. Need credit? Managers will be on site, accepting applications for immediate review. Plus, Hubler's got you covered. Every Q-certified vehicle includes our 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Before the grand opening of Hubler Toyota, everything goes. It's your chance to save like never before. Don't miss it. When Hubler says everything goes, we mean it. On US 31 South in Indianapolis, across from Hubler Chevrolet. Visit HublerToyota.com. Before the Hubler name comes, everything goes. Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Hi, Pat Sullivan here from Sullivan Hardware and Garden in Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan. Our stores are blooming with flowers, hanging baskets, bedding plants, perennials, annual containers, shrubs, trees, and much more. With so many colors and varieties, it's the best looking selection you'll find anywhere. Come see the difference. Why, you ask? Our plants are from top quality Midwest growers, many right here in Indianapolis. Check the specials on our patio furniture like all-weather wicker, Berlin Gardens poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more. You can even choose your own custom cushions on most sets. We specialize in excellent quality mid-price patio furniture that's in stock at our 37,000 square foot warehouse, all priced at 30% off. See our large selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and the Big Green Egg. Shop, play, experience. Spring with Sullivan's. 71st and Keystone, 49th and Penn, Cicero, and Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan in Fishers.
Sometimes an identity threat is a ring of professional hackers. And sometimes it's an overworked accountant who forgot to encrypt their connection while sending bank details.
I need a coffee.
And you need LifeLock because your info is in endless places. It only takes one mistake to expose you to identity theft. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
I'm a proud owner of B-Window.
I'm a proud B-Window owner.
I'm a proud B-Window owner.
When you work with a local, employee-owned home improvement company like B-Window, quality comes first because your home improvements are a reflection of our business. And for a limited time, we're extending our employee discount to you, up to 55% off all products and services, plus 18 months, no interest, no payments. Trust local, trust employee-owned, trust your home to be.
Trust me. Denny Smith here for Sundown Gardens. The greenhouse is filled with great spring color and tropical plants. Sundown Gardens is your one-stop shop this spring for all things home and garden. Hanging baskets, bedding flats, tropicals, vegetables, herbs, herbaceous perennials, trees, shrubs, home decor, and more. If you need it for your home or landscape, Sundown Gardens has it. Now's the time to get your home beautified for all summer. Sundown Gardens, located on the corner of Spring Mill Road and 186th Street in Westfield.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or drexelin.com.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end.
The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Chocolate lovers are going absolutely bananas over our new Bluebell Banana Fudge. Rich milk chocolate ice cream swirled with a scrumptious banana-flavored ice cream. Your favorite banana fudge bar, now in a carton.
The good old days are being made right now.
The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell half-gallon specially priced, $5.99 each at select Meijer locations through May 24th.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Bumper to bumper along one central Indiana highway. Nothing on radar right now in downtown Indianapolis. 54 degrees. Your high today, 74. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 8:31. Right now, US 31 is closed at 111th Street in Carmel for a crash. Matt Baer will have more in a couple of minutes from the WIBC Traffic Center. Illegal immigration and what Trump's policies mean for it is what one senator is talking about this morning.
There are exceptions in terms of who is eligible for expedited removal.
That's Republican Senator Ashley Moody from Florida talking about immigration and Trump's policies. She says they make you safer. She spoke to Fox News a couple of minutes ago.
They are working together, working very hard, using laws aggressively to make sure they're being just as aggressive as those criminals that push their way into our country and want to hide out.
And Trump has faced criticism and legal challenges over mass deportation efforts. people stood in line in the rain outside a federal building Tuesday in Evansville in response to confirmed ICE activity in the area, calling for an end to what they say is racial targeting and rights violations. In Michigan last night, the president said his first 100 days in office have been historically great.
What the world has witnessed in the past 14 weeks is a revolution of common sense. That's all it is, really. We're conservative. You're conservative, you're liberal, whatever the hell. You know what it's all about? It's about common sense.
Trump spoke for about 90 minutes.
After a lifetime of unelected bureaucrats stealing your paychecks, attacking your values, and trampling your freedoms, we are stopping their gravy train, ending their power trip.
He added,
we have some grandstanders, but every once in a while, not many, but remember who those grandstanders were and vote them the hell out of office, okay? Will you do that?
Democrats in D.C. have been quick to criticize his plan for the nation's economy, including now paused worldwide reciprocal tariffs and his efforts to detain and deport migrants. A suspect has been identified. John Herrick reports on an arson case in the capital city.
A series of arsons happened on Indy's west side starting June 9th of last year, and the last one was August 21st. Well, on Tuesday, the Indianapolis Fire Department and IMPD said Mark Bisson is the man responsible for committing those crimes after being spotted by both camera video from several businesses in the area committing the arson, as well as a city-owned camera. Bisson pled guilty and got a 10-year prison sentence for this. John Herrick, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
If you need to gas up today, you'll spend about $3.04 for an average for a gallon of regular unleaded, according to AAA. Sports on WIBC brought to you by Ball State Athletics. Visit ballstatesports.com at Gamebridge Fieldhouse last night.
21 seconds to play. Halliburton drives. He's at the hoop, and he finishes with the left hand as Green puts him on the floor.
Oh, yeah, but he was not finished.
Here comes Halliburton. Hits the timeline with 7. Outside the arc with 5. Driving in the lane at the goal. He lays it in with 1 3/10 seconds to go.
Mark Boyle on the Elevance Health Radio Network. Final score in overtime, 119-118. And the Pacers close out the Bucks. They're going home. The Pacers are going to Cleveland. Halliburton on the big shot.
It wasn't pretty, but we'll take it and celebrate this one for the night and got to get ready for Cleveland.
And the Pacers move on. Game number 1 in Cleveland Sunday. Time to be determined. The Fever continue their preseason training camp, getting ready for the preseason game against Washington. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level on the go and at WIBC.com at 8:35. Traffic on the 5s. Here's Matt Bear.
Ryan, you're talking about this as closure up in Carmel on southbound US 31. Full closure, crash, southbound 31 at 106th Street. Traffic is stopped. Back to 116th Street. You can exit there or use Keystone Parkway. Southside crash, eastbound 465 before I-69 on the right shoulder. 12-minute delay back to Kentucky Avenue. Northwest side, northbound 465, slow roll 86th Street to 865. Inbound 69, stop and go traffic from 116th Street down to 465. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for the 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
20% chance of showers today at about 2 o'clock, and then early this evening. Showers and thunderstorms are also likely before 11. 72 is the high, 52 is the temperature right now in downtown Indianapolis. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Cooling Weather Center, 93 WIBC.
The Attorney General's office wants to put your money back in your pocket. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov and search for yourself, your loved ones, or your business. It's fast, easy, and free.
Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. I got my Indiana unclaimed check recently, and it was awesome. Thank you for that. And I haven't lived in that state in a while. It wasn't a lot of money, but it was just cool to find out that there was money I had out there in the world. All right, let's do this. I love when news accidentally tells Trump supporters to support Trump even more, or at least to be happy with the things that have happened. MSNBC was the victim of this twice in the last 24 hours. They put out a headline to an article which said that the real truth about the amount of money that the Trump administration has withheld in our government. Doge recently bragged about cutting $160 billion from government spending. That is not what MSNBC is saying. They're saying that the Trump administration is actually withholding $436.87 billion. The Democrats complain was approved for spending, but the Trump administration isn't really sure about it. Most people who voted for Trump would be like, awesome, in response to this story. How many more billions are we trying to save? Potentially not just throw into the bucket that is our government and the way they wastefully spend and or just steal our money. That sounds amazing. So first, I love that headline and how the entire article, for anyone that actually reads MSNBC, and I think Reuters also ran this story too, was how terrible it is that all this money is being withheld. When again, most people want to see the government be forced back to a world where they understand that they can't just spend our dollars like a drunken person overnight with a credit card watching some sort of, buy everything now station until not that anybody does that anymore. I don't think anybody watches QVC or any of that. I don't know. But anyway, that is one story out there where accidentally Democrats kind of owned themselves. The other one was this. They sent a reporter to ask Trump supporters how they feel after 100 days of President Trump in office. And a whole lot of Trump supporters feel great about what's happened so far. Here's part of that back and forth.
I am totally excited. Everybody I know is excited. My biggest issue is the border, and he's killing it.
He has done a really good job.
Very optimistic. And I know that right now with the tariffs, that there's a little bit of pain. Things are happening right now that right now we're not in a good place. Are
you willing to accept that pain for the time being?
Well, I don't think I'm an instant gratification person.
Nice. I love that answer, by the way. Continue.
I think that sometimes you have to go through a little bit of the fire to get to the end of the rainbow.
I think they ought to be touting their successes a lot more.
Yeah.
I think they could be letting us know the things that they're doing and the things that they intend to do and what the plan is.
Yeah, instead of just telling us all the time that everything's chaotic and everything's crazy, even though the only reason there's chaos, or at least the claim of it, is because the government isn't getting any of the money or nowhere near the amount of money they're used to taking from us without answering some questions first, without some people being like, what's this actually for? Which sounds amazing. By the way, there was one other moment. This was a guy on the street interview that I thought was great with another Trump supporter, where they're trying to hammer home the idea that pain could be coming. Now, I would like to rewind the tape a bit and remind everyone that when pain actually first started happening while Biden was in office, not only did mainstream news media not warn us in advance that it was coming, but they told us it was transitory again and again and again, much like the Biden administration did. So they essentially said it's going to go away. It never went away. The inflation problem and the economy problem wound up being one of the biggest reasons that people voted Trump back into office. But I love the fact that it's now the reverse of that. Now that Trump is in the White House, mainstream media is telling us pain is coming, like we're Game of Thrones and we're about to hit winter. And they're not telling us, any of the stuff that the Trump administration is saying about why this won't be a long-term problem and why it actually will fix issues and might cause us to have the exact opposite of pain in the very near future. They gave Biden that excuse without him asking for it. They're pretending Trump isn't saying it as well, even though it might actually be true. That's amazing. But here is that back and forth with one of the supporters.
Are you prepared to pay higher prices for goods?
I've been paying higher prices, sweetie, in the last. When Biden got in office, my groceries have doubled.
Boom! Everything went way up, and it's been up since. And so I'd like to stop paying the ridiculous prices that I'm paying. The reporter went on to be like, are you sure you want more of that? And she said, I want it to stop. Whatever way we get it to stop works for me. Another thing out there that I saw that I thought was kind of an interesting just headline story. So a deep dive into the financial decision-making of those Democrats that flew to El Salvador to try to meet with MS-13 gang member Kilmar Abrego Garcia. They stayed in luxury 5-star hotels, specifically the Hilton San Salvador, which has a picturesque backdrop of the capital city's volcano and costs a tremendous amount of money. And they stayed in fancy, accommodations within the Tranquil Retreat, I guess how it's described. So they spent your government money, they spent your tax dollars on a fancy getaway and a tropical vacation, and then also attempting to meet with someone who, by the way, there is another breaking story in the world of Kilmar Garcia. Apparently, the ex of his wife, of Kilmar's wife, in those court documents where the wife herself was even accusing Abrego Garcia of beating her, the ex-husband said that he's a gang member and he was afraid for the safety of his children. He has 2 kids with Kilmar's current wife. So the guy, years ago, had made that same accusation that she's dating a gang member. That is verbatim what is in the police report. Interesting how more and more of this comes out and mainstream media doesn't tell you about it. One last thing that I thought was really interesting here. This was Fox News taking a shot from Stephen Miller. Stephen Miller did an interview. He had a conversation about a few different things. At one point, in order to try to prop up a question, Fox referenced some of its poll numbers. And while Miller had a problem with the idea that their polls are reliable.
It is our opinion that Fox News needs to fire its pollster. And I won't surprise you with that. I don't think you're surprised that I'm saying that. But the Fox News pollster has always been wrong about President Trump. They were the ones that said all summer long that Kamala Harris was going to be the 47th president of the United States. So we don't acknowledge any of that polling.
Yeah, we don't think it's accurate because they were kind of wrong about that other thing, and they are wrong about a whole lot of stuff. So when the White House Deputy Chief of Staff is asked a question about polls and they're referencing Fox News ones, my answer is I don't think any of that is even worth commenting on because you really need someone better in that position. All right. That's some of the stuff out there in the world of the news. There is other stuff to get to before we get out of here. One of my favorite stories that we'll touch on right after we do some traffic and take a break involves a brand new social media challenge on TikTok that is actually a form of torture. And the reason it's my favorite story is not because I think you should do it, not because I'm going to recommend to anyone to try this, but because of how ridiculous the stupidity is on social media sometimes. I want to get clicks. I'll go so far as to actively torture myself on camera in order for people to follow me. I'll tell you what it is and why people are doing it and all of that, even though I don't understand it in just a bit. Before we do that, we'll take a break. Matt will save us with some traffic as well.
All right, Craig, southbound 31 in Carmel still closed at 106th Street because of a multi-vehicle crash. There's also an injury here, and traffic is jammed up right now back to 116th Street as we watch the camera here. Yeah, still full closure. We have a lot of people lined up in that exit ramp to 106th Street right now. That is backed up as we try to peel off the southbound 31 and get on our way to work. Northbound 465 east side slow. 70 up to Penn Pike. Northwest side, northbound 465. Stop and go traffic, 86th Street to 865. South side crash, eastbound 465 at I-69. It's blocking the right shoulder. Slowdown to the White River. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146 and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at DrexelIN.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. 20% chance of showers after 2 o'clock today. Chance of showers and thunderstorms before 11 p.m. tonight as well. A high of 72 right now in downtown Indianapolis. It is 52. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Heating, Weather, and Cooling Weather Center, 93 WIBC.
Life moves fast.
Another new directive from Donald Trump.
President Trump will not be deterred to make our federal government more efficient.
So does the news.
We expect those meetings to take place very soon.
Decisions made today.
I'm not a big fan of the Atlantic.
No threats to national security. Could impact you tomorrow.
Accountability and transparency.
What's next?
You never know what's going to happen.
Need to know what happened.
We're already tracking it. Stay in the know while you're on the go on 93 WIBC.
Hey, it's Matt Bear. Beautiful outside. I'm thinking spring cleaning, home maintenance. I'm thinking Cochran Exteriors. Don't wait to beautify your home for summer. For a fresh new look and increased home value, new siding, by Concrete Exteriors is the answer. From James Hardy Fiber Cement Siding to a big array of vinyl, siding colors, and styles, the experienced pros at Concrete have all the choices. Help your home find the fountain of roof. For your free estimate, call Concrete Exteriors at 317 Roofing or visit concreteexteriors.com. Tell them I sent you.
It's Hammer and Nigel for Window Nation. April's a great time to spruce up around the house, like getting rid of those old, ugly, drafty, hard-to-open windows and starting fresh, especially during Window Nation's Buy 4, Get 4 free sale going on now through April 30th. And if you buy a house full of windows, they'll include a free entry door, too. Plus, with 0% financing, 0 down, and no monthly payments, you could get new windows and pay nothing until 2027.
Window Nation partners with top window manufacturers in the nation to build windows to their high-quality specs. Then they pass those savings on to you. You'll protect your home with some of the best windows you can buy at a fraction of the price of some of those other brands. This sale ends April 30th. Do not miss your chance to take advantage of the Buy 4, Get 4 for free deal, and you don't pay anything until 2027. Schedule that estimate right now at 866-90-NATION or go to windownation.com.
Take a walk out to the farm, well, the tree farm. We're talking about Circle City Trees in Zionsville, where you have an absolutely incredible selection of trees that are going to go beautifully in your backyard or side yard or front yard. It really depends on your need. They've got evergreens, shade trees, fruit trees, ornamental trees, flowering trees, and the pricing is all on the website, circlecitytrees.com, and that includes the installation and the warranty. You might need shade on your back deck or patio. You may want to have some separation from that nosy neighbor, or maybe you're just looking for something to create a little beauty, a little enjoyment in your backyard. Circle City Trees, they are the people to call, and they're so easy to work with. You head over there to Zionsville and check them out for yourself, because every tree's got a personality. You got to find the one that's right for you. Circle City Trees in Zionsville. Trees that thrive right here in Indiana. Call 317-768-3005. 317-768-3005. Circle City Trees, 768-3005, or online at circlecitytrees.com.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Nia.
Hi, Nia. It's Jennifer. Did you know that Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, I work here.
Okay. I was just double checking. Get it?
Because Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, you get me, Nia.
You could say that I double get you.
I guess we've taken it too far.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Check out what's going on with 93 WIBC.
Listen to Tony Katz all week long for your chance to win 2 tickets to the Sancio Grand Prix on Saturday, May 10th at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. More info at WIBC.com.
This is Tony Katz Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins filling in. Matt and Carl hanging out. Carl playing the theme song. I'm supposed to guess. Is this King of the Hill? Thank you,
Finally.
sir. Yes, I did watch that show. So yeah, that was an easy one for me. Matt, did you know that one too?
I thought it was Sex and the City. Sorry. Sorry.
Okay, wait a minute. Live action King of the Hill remake following the Sex and the City development. I'm all for that show. If it's, Hank and everybody talking about the same things they talked about in Sex and the City, I'll watch several episodes.
Bryan Cranston as Hank Hill. Boom.
Sounds amazing.
I know.
It does. I'm all in on that. But thank you, Carl, for playing that game. Finally got one right. I am now 1 for 3, which is pretty good shooting if I'm shooting 3-pointers and not 2s. Let's do this. I have a few other quick stories. The banned form of torture that is now popping up on social media is waterboarding. People are waterboarding themselves. This is real. They put a rag over their face. They then dump a giant bucket of water on themselves to see how bad it actually is. I do not recommend anyone do this. This could actually kill you. Several people who have done this have said, man, I thought I was going to die, because you could actually harm yourself to that degree. And yet thousands of people have used the hashtag waterboard and are just waterboarding themselves for clicks on social media.
Well, what they're not showing is they're telling on their neighbor while they're getting waterboarded and reporting people to COVID and just giving up all the family secrets, the safe deposit box combination and things. Don't do this. I mean, there's a reason it was torture at Gitmo for a reason. That's because they were able to get the secrets and people hated to be waterboarded. So, I mean, obviously this is just a social media trend, right? This is a way to get on the TikTok.
Exactly. But you got to be honest. Like, sometimes when you see these trends, you think, like, they can't actually do that one. And waterboarding, I thought, would be the end. I thought that everybody would be like, well, I'm not going to torture myself in a way that is banned internationally. But no, because it's social media and the internet, people are like, why not? Let's try this at least once. Again, horrible decision if you do. Don't do it. But the internet has no bar. I always think there's a bar, and then they go way past whatever the bar is.
I'm not going to lie to you. When this show's over, I'm going to Google waterboarding videos, and I'm going to watch these. I got to kick people flying off milk crates during the milk crate challenge. I thought that was a great. One guy actually was able to roll a marijuana cigarette while going up the milk crates, and then use the thing as he went down the milk crates, and I thought that was innovative.
Was impressive.
Yeah, it was like not something I would do, but I was impressed. And so
one last thing too. I don't know how much time we have left, but I want to do one more. The health benefits of a fart walk. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this. They're saying especially older people after dinner, you should take a fart walk. This is where you try to pass as much gas as possible during a short walk around the block, around the house. The two benefits, one is just the walking itself. The other one is the peace of mind of all the farting you do outside. So mental health and physical health benefits, people are being encouraged to take a fart walk after dinner.
I'm moving to Antarctica. It's done. It's going to happen regardless. So, I mean, hopefully not at the dinner table or in the presence of, esteemed company. But yeah, this is, we don't. How healthy is it? I mean, is it like drinking a glass of red wine a day? I mean, what?
It sounds like it can fight off diabetes and all kinds of things.
Well, okay. Yeah, I'm in. Let's do it. If it's a cure-all, let's do the walk.
Again, mostly because of the walking, not the farting. But I guess if that motivates you to walk, then go ahead and do it.
What kind of study is this? What the hell is going on?
Yeah, it's an added benefit, Matt. They're trying to tell you that if you don't walk now, you can fart while you walk, and it'll have the same benefit.
Remarkable. Yeah.
We live in an interesting world. All right, I got to get out of here. I think the show's over.
The new
it's been a wonderful
Ozempic. It's the fart walk.
See you guys.
See you, Craig. Great having you. Southbound 31 Carmel. Good morning. Southbound